But I think the development of full artificial intelligence will spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object, and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody's checking it out.
With the rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. They were too fast to be in airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
So you said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help me!
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
Doesn't have your best interest in mind. The government is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and I'm here tonight with OG Todd. And we'd like to say hello to all of you who may also have troubled minds. This show is live. We are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and D-Live. I think Fringe FM is down, but we're working on that. But otherwise, we will be broadcasting live on the Fringe FM, and we are taking your phone calls tonight. Do you want to be part of the show at any point? Give us a call at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can join the Discord by going to troubledminds.org. That's the official website. And that's what's up. That's what's up. We do a phone line. We do Discord. We do open lines. We talk about all kinds of crazy stuff. What is all that crazy stuff? Well, of course, aliens. Of course, conspiracy, the paranormal, right? We talk about the government. We talk about academia, the 24-hour news cycle. We talk about propaganda and the overall feeling that we live in the upside down. And that's what this show's about. And we are 3+ years going strong on this, multiple times a week. And we do this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at this point, and 7 p.m. Pacific, and go for a couple hours. We usually do 2 hours on the Fringe. And then we do an extra third hour, commercial free, and only on YouTube, D-Live, and Facebook. So lots of good conversation. And like I said, this always includes you. So feel free at any point to give us a call, and let's say hi to Todd. Let's say hi to Todd. Let me click the thing here. What's up, OG Todd? Testing 1 2. Can you hear me, my friend?
Yes, I can hear you. What's up, everybody?
Nice. Welcome to the show.
Me?
Loud and clear. Looks like everything is working. Everything's working except for Fringe, but that's okay. I know it's a brand new thing going on over there because Joe Root moved and all the rest of that, so he's getting the station set up. So some hiccups, but like I said, we will be back better than ever pretty soon here. So all right, so I guess Night Stalker there saying that Jess Rogie was not on Fringe either, so something's broken there. So anyway, in any case, like I said, it will be back up soon. So all right, so basically the deal is this, right? The topic tonight is going to be what, Todd? Well, maybe you should fill us in on where we're starting with this. Why don't we try that?
Sleep paralysis, out-of-body experiences, and lucid dreaming.
There it is. And so, of course, right, we've talked about this before, but Todd in particular had a story that he wanted to tell. So we'll get to that. We're not going to jump right into that because let's lay the framework here first. We got plenty of time to talk about those things. So basically it's like this, right? Actually, let's start here. Let's start with an article, with just a very well-written article. And I even jacked the headline here for our headline because it was so good. This is from healthline.com, and it goes a little something like this. You wake up in the middle of the night, and there it is. A menacing presence that you can first feel and then see when you open your eyes. Scared like the dickens, you try to scream and bolt, but you can't. It's like you're paralyzed or being held down by the evil presence. And I'll share this link where this came from. There's a lot of actual interesting scientific websites that discuss this whole sleep paralysis, which really kind of leads us to all the things that we're going to talk about tonight, because I think it really kind of begins there, right? With a lot of that, meaning that people wake up, and even the ET abduction phenomena is kind of tied into this, and science has said, well, by the way, it's not people being abducted by aliens. It's just this phenomenon called sleep paralysis. Do you have a take on that? Do you think that's how much BS or not do you think that is, Todd?
Well, I mean, sleep paralysis, I've had like spontaneous sleep paralysis like throughout my life. So I used to always get scared when I was younger, but as I got older, I would just like, in my mind, I would scream, wake up, and I would eventually wake up. But so, like, I've never had an experience where I felt like it was aliens or anything. I'd be in the middle of a dream sometimes, and something would happen, like somebody would grab me and I couldn't move, and then I'd be conscious in my dream, and I'd tell myself to wake up, and I'd wake up.
Okay, but you never had like a demon or an alien or anything like that. Maybe like it's been said in the past, of course. They're not just demons or aliens or things like this. People have described maybe the succubus or the incubus, that type of thing. Maybe sitting on their chest, holding them down so they couldn't move, things like that. Have you ever had any situations where you thought there might be some other shenanigans other than just simply sleep paralysis?
I've heard voices sometimes, but that leads into the story that I want to talk about later. But there's a scientific explanation for the whole feeling like somebody's sitting on your chest. And I watched it on a video on YouTube, actually. Somebody was talking about it, and they were saying that the reason is that you feel like your chest is heavy or somebody's sitting on your chest is because when you're sleeping, you don't need to take in as much air. So your body, like when you're sleeping, it automatically you breathe less. So when you're conscious in your dream and you feel sleep paralysis, that's what it is. That's why some people feel that heaviness in their chest. I personally never had that, though.
Gotcha. Okay. I've actually never had, luckily, because it seems to be a terrifying phenomenon, but I've never actually had sleep paralysis that I'm aware of. So, which is good. That's fine by me. I don't need any of that stuff. You guys can all keep it if it's your thing. I prefer it not being my thing also, as long as we're talking about demons and entities and maybe ETs showing up in the middle of the night. No thanks. I'm not interested. Even if it's not real, I'm not interested. It's not what I'm into. So, okay. So with that said, right, not only that, let's go back to this article for just a sec here. And again, this is from healthline.com. And, it starts with that kind of, basically a stereotypical situation, right? Like very, very common that people describe, whether it happens to be an entity or an alien or a demon or this or that or the other thing. It's definitely been one of those things that's been well talked about through history, and even some kind of biblical type perspective, which we can get into a little bit later with maybe the Apostle Paul, I believe it was, that had like a sleep paralysis type experience, and considered the presence of a demon and things like this. So anyway, here we go. This is so how people describe these demons. We'll start with the demon angle here because that's what this article is, and then we'll get into Todd's dream, and then we'll get into hopefully taking your phone calls. Maybe you guys have had some sort of lucid dreaming experience, or sleep paralysis, or out of body, or any of the rest of that. I guess they're intertwined, aren't they, in some capacity, right, Todd?
Something like that.
Is that a yes or a no? You care to explain?
Well, what exactly did you say was entwined? I didn't catch that.
Okay, sleep. That's fine. Sleep paralysis, the out of body experience, and lucid dreaming. Do you think there's a connection there? Okay, it is connected. Can you explain maybe? How do you think those things are connected?
Because when you're in sleep paralysis, your mind is conscious. You're sleeping, your body's sleeping, but your mind is conscious. So you're aware that you're dreaming. So you can kind of, like, that's how I woke myself up, because I knew I was dreaming and I knew I was in sleep paralysis. So I would try and force myself to wake up. You're big.
So if you're lucid dreaming, then you know you're dreaming and you can force yourself to wake up. But if you're not, you might be screwed, right? Maybe that's the whole, if you don't realize you're dreaming, that's the whole maybe alien abduction experience. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all of it is that. I mean, a lot of people believe aliens are real and all those things. I'm not going to try and crap on that. I'm just saying that if maybe that's what triggers those events more often than not, is that people can't realize they're actually dreaming and wake themselves up out of it. Does that make sense?
Well, the whole thing about sleep paralysis is you're sleeping. You're conscious of it. That's why you feel like you can't move or something's on your chest, because you're aware of it. So when you're having sleep paralysis.
Well, except if you think it's an alien abduction scenario, then maybe you don't.
No, that's only because some people, they can't see what's going on because their eyes are closed. But most of the time when sleep paralysis happens, it's while you're dreaming. And you so suddenly realize that you're conscious and you know what's going on, and you feel like you want to scream, but nothing's coming out because it's all in your mind. So that's the whole thing about sleep paralysis.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So there it is. Like I said, I'm not the expert in this because I've never had this happen to me. If any of you guys have had this happen, as you know, we're taking your phone calls and doing our thing. If you want to be part of the show tonight, give us a call, 702-957-1037. You can join the Discord, troubledminds.org. I'm Mike. This is Todd. He was actually the second person ever in our stream way back three plus years ago. So he's an old friend of the show, and he had some pretty crazy dreams he wanted to describe to us. So I figured it was perfect to kind of do all this at the same time, and we could maybe go into our maybe astral traveling mode, and maybe go say hi to Ash on Mars. I think like I said, I think there's a dust storm, so he's caught no internet connection on Mars tonight. But okay, so again, taking your phone calls. If you guys have questions or comments on this, or want to share your dream or your experience with this lucid dreaming type stuff. Okay, so back to this article real quick. So people think these are demons in some cases, right? All right, so let me ask you then, Todd. Do you think that let's say demons or entities? It doesn't have to be demons. I know some people discount the fact that demons are even real. But how about extra-dimensional entities? Do you think that there's possibly a connection here, or do you think it's all basically vanilla scientific?
Well, I think the whole sleep paralysis thing is scientific. I don't believe that, because I've personally had sleep paralysis. So for me, I've never had any kind of experience where there was I felt like there was a demon or a shadow person or anything like that. But you do get, like, you feel fear because you can't move, you can't yell, because it's all in your head and you feel like you're stuck. So I understand the fear part of it, but I've never had anything like a demon or anything like that show up, or ever felt like there was anything like that when I had sleep paralysis.
Kind of watching you. Okay. Gotcha. But you're not discounting the fact that may be real, right? Is that what you're saying?
Okay. No.
Okay. All right. Nah. All right, that's fine. It's all good. It's all good. All right, let's go with the demon angle here for just a second, then we'll get into your dream as we get to the bottom of the hour here. All right, so again, like Todd said, so this whole not lucid dreaming, it's more of a sleep paralysis situation, and some people describe it as a demon, and it's even in this article by Healthline, and they're talking about they actually call them sleep paralysis demons. And so, if that's a scientific term, let's roll with it, right? So what is the demon that leaves you trapped in your body, unable to move or scream? And here it is. It depends on who you ask. For some, it's a faceless, shapeless presence trying to suffocate them. Others describe it as a creepy old hag with claws. Some see an alien and experience what they believe is a full alien abduction. And for others, the demons look like a dead relative. And as Todd said, he's heard voices, right? So I think maybe that's a little bit strange that you can maybe lump it into this group of cast of characters, I guess we could say.
Well, I didn't explain it fully. Like when you're in that state, your mind's conscious, but you're also partly in the dream state. So what goes through your mind is what you see in your dream. So that's why people think they see demons or aliens, because that's where their mind goes. That's where their fear is coming from. So their mind makes it real, and you hallucinate it while you're dreaming, because you're in the dream state, but you're still conscious.
Gotcha. All right. So again, this is from Healthline. Let's read a little bit more of this. So different cultures have different explanations for these sleep paralysis demons. The Canadian Inuit attribute the sleep paralysis to spells of shaman. Japanese folklore says it's a vengeful spirit that suffocates its enemies in their sleep. In Brazilian folklore, the demon has a name, Pisadira, I guess, which is Portuguese for she who steps. She's a crone with long fingernails who lurks on rooftops in the night, then walks on the chest of people who sleep belly up on a full stomach. So I think there's the spot for the weight on your chest or the weight on your stomach, right? And some of these, again, this is folklore, and it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. Like even this article admits it basically the thing we're talking about is dependent on basically who you ask. So that's really what we're doing here tonight, is kind of putting the feelers out. We're going to hear a fantastic story from Todd in just a bit here about his actual sleep paralysis, and maybe take it to some other kind of dream state sort of situations from there. But that's the question, really. That's what we're talking about tonight, and I'd love to hear from you, as always. You know the drill. We're still doing this, like I said, 702-957-1037. You want to be on the show, and tell us about your actual dream time experience where there was some sort of paralysis, or did you see an entity like this, like a shadow person, a demon, an alien, or any of the rest of that? So I'm not sure exactly how long your story is here, but you maybe want to start, and then we can cliffhanger it at the bottom of the hour and take a quick break and then come back and finish, or I don't know. It depends on how much you want to embellish the story, I guess. You want to tell us a good story, Todd? No pressure.
Well, there's an experience that happened like not even 3 days ago, and then I have one that happened when I was a child. Okay. So I'll tell you about the child one first.
Okay, let's do
I've told this a few times, so some of you might have heard it before, but when I was around 13 years old, I was in school. I was in a school for bad kids or whatever, because I was a badass when I was young. But anyway, there was this one kid named Brian, this blonde-haired, chubby kid, and he used to have like a pig nose. You know how some people have the nose pushed up and people think they look like a pig? He kind of looked like that, so everybody would make fun of him, right? So he was kind of like one of the kids that got picked on a lot. But he was on my bus, my school bus, because he lived in the same town as I did. So, like, I never really talked to him. I would mess with him sometimes, and sometimes I would say hi, but, I was kind of a bad kid, so I would pick on him too, just like everybody else. But one night, I was sleeping, and I didn't wake up. I felt like I woke up, but I really wasn't awake, but I was already out of my body. I was having an out-of-body experience. And I didn't know what it was because I was a kid. And it just felt natural to me, I guess, because I was a kid and I thought I was dreaming. So basically, I couldn't see myself, but I could see what was in front of me, like how we look out of our own eyes. Like, that's how I was seeing things. And I was basically somehow ended up in his house. And his house was on fire in real life. Him and his brother and I think his father died in the fire. And his mother and two sisters lived. But
like
basically,
actually in real life.
Yes, it really happened. It was in the newspapers and everything. I checked it. And also because I went to school the next day and they said that he died in a fire last night. So basically, I was out of my body and I was in his house and I was seeing the fire and I was hearing screams. I didn't see them burning, but I saw the flames and I heard the voices in the other rooms of people screaming. And then it gets blurry for me. I don't remember what happened after that. All I remember is hearing his brother yell and him yelling. And then I don't know what happened after that. And then the next day I went to school and the teacher was like, today we have a moment of silence for blah, blah, blah. Him and some of his family died last night in a fire. And hold on, excuse me.
No problem. I have a cough button for just such an occasion. But yeah, so we're hearing a story from Todd here, where he actually had an experience when he was around 13 years old, and he was woke up in the middle of the night, had an out of body experience, and he was in the house of not really a friend, but let's say a childhood acquaintance, and the house was on fire. And so not just on fire in his the out of body experience dream state, or whatever you want to call this, it was actually on fire IRL in real life. And the tragedy is that I guess the next day he says that he ended up hearing from the teacher at school that the individual in question and the members of his family passed away. So some interesting implications there for me is that it's one thing to say, I was having an incident where I kind of came out of my body and whatever else. But I mean, at this point, it seems like either this is like a premonition type of thing, or actually like an astral projection, astral traveling type of experience, right? Where you came out of the body, moved over to wherever this was happening. Maybe some sort of a trauma pulled you there. You felt the distress. Who knows, man? Like all kinds of stuff there, all kinds of implications. I don't know if you're back yet, but yeah.
I'm back.
Okay, all right. So I don't know if you heard what I said. Just kind of recapping you there. But so what did you think about that? Go ahead and finish. Go ahead and finish the story, though.
Oh, that's basically the end of that story. That's what happened. And then, but like when I was back in my body, like when I woke up, it just felt like a normal dream. And then when I went to school the next day, that's what made me really think about what happened last night.
Yeah. So okay. So what do you think that is then? And so, like I said, there's some sort of maybe premonition going on there. Do you think maybe it was like a time travel experience and you saw it before it happened? Like maybe you woke up and like it happened a couple hours later, or do you think that maybe you, like I was saying, you sensed the distress from the colleague, the acquaintance at school, and it drew you somehow as it was happening in real time? Like, how do you explain that? Like that's not very scientific at all, is it?
It's not. I can't explain it, but I'm pretty sure it was a mix between a premonition and out-of-body experience, because I was literally felt like I was there, and I could see it and hear it happening while it was really happening.
Yeah, that's rough. That is rough, man. That's a hard thing to see, and then actually have it be verified by a teacher the next day at school. That is rough. Never had anything like that. That's what we're talking about tonight, guys. The topic is basically that the dream state, out of body experience, the sleep paralysis. We can take this a number of ways, which we do, as we always do. This show is a kind of all over the place as part of the purview of what we cover. So as a result of that, we're looking to hear from you. That's the topic tonight. This is Todd here. We're just kicking it, talking about some interesting stuff about the mind, the dream states, out-of-body experiences, and that sleep paralysis effect. And of course, if people want to equate that to demons, or like the article we started with, some of the the alien abduction phenomena, science has tried to explain it away through sleep paralysis. Which, of course, I think to me the truth seems to always kind of be in the middle. You can't explain away everything with one particular thing, like, I don't know, mass hallucinations. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. That's what we're talking about tonight. And again, I'm Mike. This is Todd. You're listening to Troubled Minds, and we're going to be talking about this for half the night. Like, we go on and on and on for hours and hours on end. And I hope you enjoy it. I do too. And Todd, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Don't go anywhere, my friend. You guys don't go anywhere. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Looking to hear your stories as well. Have you had something happen with a out-of-body dream state, sleep paralysis type experience? Well, if you have, you're in the right place. Give us a call. I'll put the phone number up on the screen, and looking to hear from you tonight. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. More Troubled Minds after the break. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and I'm here with our old friend, OG Todd. And we're talking about out-of-body experiences. We're talking about sleep paralysis, and we're talking about astral travel. I think there's a lot here. You can kind of take this in many different directions, and looking to hear from you guys. We got a couple phone calls on deck right now, but if you want to be part of the show and tell us your experience with out-of-body experiences or sleep paralysis or any of the rest of this, give us a call, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037, and we'd love to hear from you. Anything to add to that, Todd, before we go to a couple phone calls here?
No, go to phone calls. I'm ready to talk to some people.
All right, let's do it. Love to talk to some people. All right, let's go with we'll take you in order. We'll go with who called first. This is, I have no idea who this is. So let's go with this. You are on Trouble Minds with Mike and Todd. What's your first name and where are you calling from?
Hi. Am I on air?
Yes, you are. How are you?
Yeah, this is Franklin.
What's happening, Franklin?
Franklin?
Not much. I'm sorry. I didn't know that I could tell because of the volume on my phone. Not much. I just want to say thanks so much. I was calling to just give a few comments about the sleep paralysis and the dreams and nightmares and things like that.
Sure. Go for it. Go right ahead.
Yeah, my username was Frank. I think it's Franklin in the chat. But anyways, I don't know. Should I start by saying a few comments?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Okay. I just was real short. But I want to give a perception of outside the box about dreams or nightmares where I actually believe that some humans have the ability to actually create a scenario where they fall asleep and they create their nightmare and they summon, this is going to sound crazy, but they have the ability to summon their friends' souls or even enemies' souls into the nightmare and have a war with them. And that's going to sound completely out of the box, but I do this all the time to where, not all the time, but every few weeks, to where I know I actually, in advance, I know I have a nightmare coming up, planned and scheduled in my dream or in my sleep 8-hour period. I know it's coming up and I'm prepared. And I know who's going to be in it. And I have a horrible nightmare. It is, I mean, they're horrible, but it's like we're battling like war, and then I wake up from it. And to me, the point of it is soul warfare. It is anybody that is trying to fight, or how people have battles in life, whether that be with anyone in life, anywhere on the planet at any given time, where it's like soul warfare, where you have people coming into your dream and you have to fight them, and that is called a nightmare, and it is very horrible. And it's going to sound weird, but I experienced this. It's really freaking weird.
Okay, so let me just make sure I followed you here. So you're describing that there's an actual spiritual warfare going on, and we're actually battling this in our dreams. Is that what you're saying here?
Well, what I usually tell. I'll preface it with this. What I usually tell some of my close friends that I believe that a dream is good. Everyone usually likes that. It's all nice and, daisies. A nightmare, most people are not liking that. So I tell my friends that is a soul warfare. Now, you can say spiritual warfare, but I like to say, well, you can say that. You can. But I like to say when it's with people that it's I usually call it soul warfare. Spiritual warfare works perfectly fine. And I know in advance who's coming into my dream, whether that be somebody that abused me as a kid, whether that be some bully on the stupid playground, whether that be somebody at the store, some employee that just smarted off at me and I didn't like it, And then they come into my dream or nightmare, and then I cause them pain in my nightmare. And my point is, so I think what I'm trying to get across is it is possible to actually control your dreams and nightmares and to create your dreams and nightmares, the scenario, who's in it, almost like you invite them to it while you're sleeping, and then they come into your nightmare, but they don't know that it's a trap, and you can literally fight them in your nightmare. Therefore, the point is you are in control of your entire sleep and dream and nightmare patterns. You are not the victim of the nightmare, but you are the creator of the nightmare to give your enemies hell, and it is just a soul warfare. And then you wake up after you win the battle, which it can be murderous in your nightmares. It can be just a scary thing. It can, whatever it is, it can be anything. and then you wake up refreshed knowing you won the war. And then you go and you see them at work or at the store or whoever it is, and you're laughing on the inside because you just defeated them in your dream.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I actually have never heard this. This is pretty cool. I mean, I have heard like the lucid dreaming bit where you can kind of control your dreams, but I've never heard being able to invite somebody into a nightmare with you to kind of fight that war. Okay. So cool. I got that. So you said you had some comments and then you got a story after that, or what else is on your mind tonight?
Yeah. Sorry, what?
Just what else is on your mind tonight?
Well, I just wanted to share that with some people, and only to maybe, and yeah, I know people are kind of understand the concept, but this makes, instead of being so afraid of a nightmare, it actually makes them more fun, to where it's almost like you're playing Dr. Evil, where you're like, you're a saint during the day, but when you're gonna have to take care of your enemies or your foes, and not everybody has that, but some people do, and then you have this dream. And anybody can be in that dream. And the thing that I like to talk about is like it's possible to almost yank their soul into your dream with you or your nightmare. I guess I'll stop talking about it. It's just a concept, really. And I almost have them scheduled like maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks I have a nightmare that I know is coming up, and I prepare and I just go to bed and I sleep and I take care of it, and it's fun. And that's the other flip side of the nightmare is like if you're in control of it, it's like you're controlling your destiny. Anyways, yeah, and that's all I was going to say. I don't really have any other comments on the other topics right now.
Okay, so the only reason I asked you if you had another thought is because you set it up like you had a couple, so I wanted to prompt you to that. That's all. I wasn't trying to make you stop talking about it, just so you know. But okay.
Oh no. Actually, I could go on forever, but about all the other ones. But I don't have enough knowledge about sleep paralysis, for example. I don't really know about that one.
Gotcha. Okay. You are a first-time caller. Where did you find us?
I just found you guys by researching live YouTube feeds about probably aliens and stuff. I love going to live YouTube feeds about aliens and UFOs and those topics. I love X-Files, and so that's how I found you guys, just by accident, by researching. And then I do believe in aliens. I do believe in UFOs. It's legit, and I don't have to get into that because it's probably not the topic. But that's how I found your radio show.
Okay, perfect. I'd like to hear how people found us. I appreciate it. Thank you, first-time caller Franklin. I look forward to speaking with you in the future. Thanks for sharing your thoughts with us tonight.
Okay, yeah, thanks a lot. Have a good day.
Thanks a lot. You too. There you go. Simple as that. You guys want to be on the show? 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can join the Discord at troubledminds.org. We have another call to go to, but did you hear a bunch of that, Todd? I know sometimes it's hard to hear on the Discord from the phone, but
No.
what did you think about that stuff?
I heard him, and I personally, the way I would take what he's saying is more along the lines of a vivid dream or a lucid dream, because when you're having a lucid dream, you're in control of your dream consciously, and you know you're controlling everything, so you can make things happen. So you can basically, if you think in your mind you want to fight this person in your dream, the person will manifest in your dream because you're controlling it. That's how he came across what he was saying. But that's how I took it, because that's what it sounds like, a lucid dream or a lucid dream state.
Yeah, like he schedules them. I think I found that pretty interesting. I didn't know that you could even set it up in how about Friday? I'm going to set this up as my next nightmare. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like I said, that's new to me. I don't, as everybody knows, I barely remember my dreams at all. I've said that probably 100 times on this show. But some people say they remember them vividly and can control them. So definitely good stuff. Any other comments on that before we go to the next call?
Basically, when you're dreaming, if you're dreaming, if you're conscious in your dream, it's called a lucid dream, and you can control what happens in that. So basically, in that dream state, you basically control your fate. Anything you want to happen can happen. You can fly, you can float in outer space, you can fight somebody you want to fight. You could even if like he was saying, he plans it, maybe he's just manifesting that in his mind, so it happens when he's dreaming because he wants it to happen. Okay. You can look at it that way.
Okay, I understand. Like I said, this is all interesting to me because I can't do any of this. So if you guys can do this stuff, I'm impressed. All right, fantastic. Let's go to caller number 2. Again, we're taking your phone calls, guys. You want to be on the show? 702-957-1037. Go to troubledminds.org. Phone number and the Discord link is right on top. And let's go to this individual. I think this is another first-time caller. You're on Troubled Minds with Mike and Todd. What's your first name? Where are you calling from?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you are on the air.
Hello?
What's your first name? Hello.
Yeah, hello. First name is Sean. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Sean?
I'm doing well. Hey, I just called to share a story that happened to me back in 2014. Started talking about the sleep paralysis y'all did, and I had first time this ever happened, and hopefully the last time this ever happened. 2014, November 1st, early a.m. Give you a little background. Me and my wife, we just love October, Halloween, all that good stuff. So, I mean, maybe it could have played into the subconscious. The entire month leading up to our wedding anniversary, October 30th, just watching, real demon stories and stuff like that on Travel Channel. And so anyway, Halloween comes, goes, go to bed that evening, have to work in the morning. And I remember waking up about 3 in the morning, looking at the clock. It was a little after 3 in the morning. Over in the corner of the room was I used to have a light stand. And I'm looking there and, shadows at night playing tricks and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, that really kind of looks like somebody standing in the corner. And I'm halfway asleep, halfway awake, and no, that's the nightstand. And I start to wake up a little. I'm feeling myself waking up slowly. And I just keep focusing on it when I becomes both eyes open. And I'm like, no, there's somebody actually in the room. And in my mind, this is going on for a few seconds. And I'm slowly waking up. My wife is sleeping right next to me. And just slowly waking up. And I'm like, no, there's somebody actually in the damn room with us. And so I'm thinking in my mind, lean over with my elbow, roll over, jab her really hard, and go for a firearm we have in the nightstand. So before I even do anything, I remember seeing the hands. It was a cloaked figure, and I still call it a nightmare. Cloaked figure. The skin is black, almost like it's shrink wrapped, I guess. Not shrink wrapped, vacuum sealed to the bones. Just very, very dry. Cannot see the face whatsoever. So, again, I'm sitting there. I am completely just waking up to the point where I feel at the time I'm awake. I shoot backwards. I roll over. I remember hitting her with my elbow really, really hard. And at that time, the thing lunges forward at me, right into my face with both hands, shoves me down into the bed. I mean, the pressure was intense. Not really on my chest or anything else. It was on my face and upper shoulder area. Shoves me down to the bed with a lot of force. And I remember just blackness and just going, losing consciousness. Ended up all of a sudden being woken up my alarm clocks set 5 in the morning. So anyway, I get up, turn them off, get ready for work, and the entire time I'm thinking, wow, what just happened? So go to work, don't talk to my wife all day, do my thing at work, come home, get in the house. She's actually in the kitchen cooking dinner. And I told her, you know what? I described it just like this. You'll never believe the nightmare I had last night. And she's all, I had some really weird dreams last night as well. There was a cloaked shaped figure floating over the bed last night, and my jaw just dropped. And I told her what I just told y'all, and not really sure what to think of it. Was it a nightmare? Was it sleep paralysis? Or did I actually have a visitor? I'm unsure. But to this, and that was in 2014, like I said, to this day, still love Halloween and everything. It's just very, very hard to watch real stories, and it just gives me the EBGBs to this point, to this day. We actually had a male Rottweiler. He was about a year and a half old. Not a word at him. He's a pretty aggressive dog. So during that whole time, but I don't know. It was just an eerie story that it was just strange that before I told my wife anything, she described exactly what I saw in the sleep, or in the nightmare, as I'll call it. So
it seems like something was there. This doesn't seem like some sort of just a nightmare. This seems like there may have been something there. She was actually aware of this as well.
Exactly. That's if she would have said, "Oh, what did you dream about?" It would have been probably something else, like, "Wow, what a crazy dream." But for her to describe it down to detail of something floating over the bed, it just the hair on the back of my neck stood completely up.
That's crazy.
She actually told me a story. I guess a few months prior, our back bedroom door. We have a slider that opens to our backyard, and our master bedroom goes out to the backyard as well. There's a door, and she was actually dreaming this at the time. But she said she had let our Rottweiler outside and was trying to let him out to go to the bathroom. And out in the middle, we have a little grassy area. And she said it was like really stormy out. And there was an old man in a robe that was really, 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 really old and wrinkled. And she walked out there, and this is probably about 4 months before this happened. He was just really, really old, really wrinkled. And she's like, "What are you doing back here? What's going on?" And he kept telling her, invite me in. Why don't you invite me in? And she's like, "No." Got the dog inside, and he got very angry, started yelling and everything. "You need to invite me in." And she came back in the house in her dream, closed the door and locked it. She's like, "Nope, you're not invited in."
No, thank you. No, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She told me that story after I described what I just told y'all and everything. And I don't know. It's like you said. It almost seems like there was something there.
Okay. All right.
It just freaks me out.
I appreciate you sharing the story with us, my man. Can you tell me how you found us real quick?
Yeah, live feed on Facebook.
Awesome. Facebook. I guess Facebook still works. Sean, first-time caller, thank you so much for calling tonight and sharing. Look forward to hearing from you in the future. We do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7 Pacific, okay? Love to hear from you. Appreciate it, my man.
Sounds good. Appreciate you.
Thanks. Have a great night. There you go. We're talking about sleep paralysis. We're talking about lucid dreams. We're talking about out-of-body experiences. That was a hell of a story right there. Matt in the chat says that it sounds like it's more of a paranormal story than it's an actual lucid dream or a sleep paralysis type thing. What's your take on that one there, Todd? Holy smokes, man. The wife knew about the dream, and he blacked out in the middle of it after being pressed down into the bed by this entity, this revenant, or maybe a lich, or who knows, some sort of something or other. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure you caught some of that there.
Honestly, I really didn't. He was cutting out really bad for me. I couldn't hear anything he said.
Okay. All right. So let's see. There's no probably better way to do it. Unfortunately, I haven't got the technology perfect yet because it's so many moving parts. But I don't know if you have another stream that maybe you could hear. That's what Ash or Frank used to do. They'd have the stream up and just...
That's what I tried to do, but it was messing with my ears because I'm stoned and it was off time.
Okay, all right. Fair enough.
For real, bro.
Cheers, brother. Fair enough. All right, so we got a couple 3 minutes here. We got Jack on deck on the call. Let's take this. He said it's going to be a quick call, so let's take him and we'll squeeze him in before the break. Jack, you're on Trouble Minds with Mike and Todd. What's up, my friend? Go right ahead. Hello.
Hey, Mike, can you hear me?
Yes, go right ahead, sir.
Hello.
Yes, go right ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to tell you really quickly. You jogged my memory that my friend told me once that the way that he figured out a way to lucid dream. I know it's kind of around the same subject. He told me that, with the telephone with our phones nowadays, you can set the alarm and you can set the volume for, the tone that wakes you up, the song or whatever wakes you up, you could set the tone. He was telling me if you set it low enough where you don't actually wake up, but it's just kind of, almost like, like a 1 or a 2 versus like a 10, which is going to for sure wake you up out of your sleep. He said if you can get it to rise really gradually, like every 10 minutes, have it, set it on like 1, and then set it on 2, and then set it on 3, and then maybe back to 2, and then back to 1, and you just kind of stay in that kind of the low range of where the sound is kind of starting to peak, but it's not waking you up, that it can get you to kind of wake up during your dream, and then you can, actually be conscious during your dreams. And I don't know if it's possible. I totally forgot about that technique till right now when we started when you're talking about this or whatever. So it was just something I wanted to bring up to everybody, that maybe you might want to try it at some point on a day off where you're kind of bored and you're like, oh, I'm going to take a nap. While, I might as well set my alarm, and maybe, an hour from the time when you go to sleep, set it at a 1, and then maybe 10 minutes later set it at a 2, and then maybe back to a 1, and then a 2, and then a 3, and then a 2, and just kind of play around with it and see if that could actually maybe potentially, jostle you out of your subconscious into your conscious while you're sleeping, and then maybe you can float around, do crazy stuff. I don't know. I'd lucid dream only once in my life, and it was pretty messed up, and it was kind of like that whole that Leonardo DiCaprio movie that I forget what that movie's called, where you can kind of
Inception.
be awake in your dreams or whatever, and it's just a really weird experience when you Inception, yeah, where you actually can kind of wake up. So it's just something I wanted to bring up real fast before I start getting ready for work. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, that's just something I thought about. So just wanted to let you guys know.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the call, Jack. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great night.
So have a great night.
Thanks, bro. You too. Thanks, bro. There you go. We're taking your phone calls tonight, guys. We're talking about lucid dreaming. We're talking about dream states. As always, right, when we start talking about dreams, everybody is interested in this because everybody dreams, right? And everybody has different experiences. We're talking about sleep paralysis. We're talking about maybe that phenomenon of a demon in the bedroom or the shadow person, or it was Sean that called and said that he had a dream where he was basically strangled out. He was choked out by a demon in his bedroom. I don't know if it's a demon, but I'm going to call it that. But in any case, holy smokes, man. Holy smokes. I don't know. What'd you think, man? What'd you think about that? Have you ever heard of an alarm being able to jostle you into a lucid dreaming state there, Todd? Test 1, 2. I'm talking to you, Todd.
Oh, my bad. I was on mute. Oh, sorry.
You're okay.
Yes. It's completely possible. Everything that he said is completely possible. It's called training your mind. That's okay. If you can do that literally, and it's basically like the other guy was saying, pumping yourself up because you know something's going to happen, so you manifest it to happen, so you can wake yourself up like that. Yes, that's totally possible.
Okay, cool. So we can come back to that and continue talking about that. As you know, we're going to take a quick break here, so go ahead and do what you got to do for a couple minutes, and we'll be right back. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. This is OG Todd, and we're talking dream states. We're talking lucid dreaming. We're talking sleep paralysis. Love to hear from you guys tonight. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can click the Discord link at troubledminds.org and be part of the show that way as well. Don't go anywhere. More after the break. We'll be right back. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. All right, good evening and welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange. We're here with OG Todd, second guy ever in the chat, the oldest super fan of Troubled Minds. He's been listening all this time. He jumps in from time to time to help us co-host. And tonight we are talking about lucid dreaming, sleep paralysis, and whatever else that entails. It seems that lots of folks can do lots of things with their dreams. Me in particular, nope, absolutely not. I can't do any of that stuff. So it is fantastic for me to hear this stuff from you guys because, like I said, always together we're stronger. We learn from each other. We can pass off these stories. We can teach each other. Like Jack tried to say, hey, look, here's a method that I've heard from a friend of mine that told me how you can actually prompt yourself to lucid dream with an alarm trick with your cell phone. So you can set those things up. So I don't know. Like I said, I've never been able to do any of that. I rarely ever, if ever, remember my dreams. And when I do, they're horrific. they are just grotesque. And I think so. The last dream, just for sake of conversation, not that anybody really cares. This isn't like psychobabble or anything like that. But just for sake of conversation, the last dream I had was probably about 10 days ago, something like that, and it had two monsters in it, and one in particular was like a snake, like a really large snake, and the other one I can't remember, but they were both menacing as hell, and I was scared like crazy in the dream. So it's like I don't really remember the dream itself. I remember the feeling of the dream, and I remember it was bad. It was not a good dream. Anyway, let's go to our callers. We're waiting for Todd to get back. He stepped out for a sec to take a smoke.
I'm back.
Okay, welcome back, sir. We got Lemon. Why don't you introduce yourself, my friend? What's up, OG Todd?
What's up?
What's up? What's up, guys? What's up? Fantastic introduction. You want to sell yourself hard or something, or you just want to be like, what's up?
Well, my name's Todd. I make music. I have spiritual experiences. I have lucid dreams. I've had out-of-body experiences. Very creative, very deep person. So discussions like this get me going, especially when I'm hella stoned.
It always helps. It totally helps. Okay. All right. Let's go to, we got a phone call. Again, we're taking your calls tonight, guys. If you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can find the phone number and the Discord link to join the show at troubledminds.org. That's the official website. Let's go to Lemon. What's up, Lemon? How you doing, my friend? You're on Troubled Minds with Mike and Todd. How are you?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Lemon from Kansas.
What's up, buddy? Long time no talk.
Yeah, for sure. I was just going to tell you about my experience when I was younger.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, like, it was like a sleep paralysis, I believe. Like, I was sleeping, and all of a sudden, like, I see my TV go blue, and then I see, like, well, actually, it was like the static, the static TV. And I could hear the static, and all of a sudden, I hear, like, a tornado siren. And then I see, like, the grudge lady, like, she was, like, crawling towards me. And I was so terrified, but, like, I was, like, paralyzed. I couldn't move. And I just keep remembering telling myself, just like, wake up. Like, I was telling myself to wake up, and I couldn't wake up. And and she got, like, pretty close to me, and I finally woke up. But, yeah, that was just a terrifying experience, and it's like, I still remember it to this day.
So do you think it was an actual, like, sleep paralysis situation, or do you think there was something paranormal to that encounter there?
I believe it was sleep paralysis. I mean, that's the only time it's happened. And I've had other experiences where, like, like when your leg falls asleep.
Yeah.
Well, that happened to, like, my head, but I was sleeping, and I go into, like, this state where I'm just, like, spinning in the air, but, like, falling, and it just feels like I'm just, like, free falling, but I'm aware of it, like I'm awake during that.
Okay.
And it actually kind of feels so cool. It feels scary and cool at the same time.
Yeah, like
I don't know if anybody's ever
kind of floating a little bit or something like that. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so I don't know if anybody's ever experienced that. I'd like to hear if anybody else has experienced that.
Okay, for sure. Anything else while we got you on the line?
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, all that stuff is dreams and stuff is just it's so surreal because it feels real, but like once you wake up, you're like, it's like when you're dreaming, it feels so real, but then when you wake up, it's just like, what the hell,
Like I'm.
But I was just gonna.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna tell you about that experience.
Okay, I appreciate it, man. Long time no talk. Like I said, don't be a stranger. Call us back, okay? Hope everything's well with you, and
All right.
Have a great night. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the call. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, man.
Thanks, bro. That's Lemon. That's Lemon on YouTube and on Facebook. He's been listening to the show for quite a while. He used to call us all the time in the old days, and it's weird, right? You kind of people come in and out and call like that when they haven't called in a while. Hope everything is good with everybody. I know it's been kind of a brutal year. Things change with work and everything else, but thanks again for coming back and being part of the show. So Todd, did you hear some of that? It was kind of more of your basic sort of sleep paralysis thing where he woke up and there was this entity there, and he kind of recognized it was the same sort of thing. But then he described a situation where it was like maybe falling and floating and something else. Did you catch any of that?
I did not catch anything about the floating part.
Okay. Well, you've been filled in. Have you ever had a situation where you can float like that, maybe in your dream, or flying, or that seems to be a common one.
Yeah, there could have been an astral projection, or it could have been a vivid dream. Because when you're out of your body, sometimes it's what your mind, what you and your mind want it to be. So if you want to float, you'll float. If you want to walk on the ground, you'll walk on the ground. If you want to fly, you can fly and feel the wind on your face. Like, that's the kind of control your mind has. When you're in that dream state, if you're able to be conscious in that state, you can make anything happen.
I like it. I agree. I'm of the camp that I think you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. Right? What was that from what was it? Back to the Future? Marty McFly.
Hello, McFly.
Hello, McFly. There you go. So I like that one. Even if it's a fake quote, I'm going to roll with it. All right, let's go to Matt in California. What's up, Matt? You're on Troubled Minds with Mike and Todd. How are you, my friend?
How's it going, Mike? Great topic tonight. I have a lot to talk about, but I'm going to try to be fast. Just so you're aware, I cannot hear Todd when he talks on the phone right here.
Okay. Let's see. That helps. Thank you.
I don't know if that's a problem. Okay. So with dreams. Okay. So everybody dreams, and we all have dreams. So helping remember things. First of all, the phases of the moon. Like, I have more vivid dreams when it's a full moon, and I've talked to other people that have had that too. So that's one thing. Maybe tracking, and then another thing is keeping a dream journal. I started doing this a while back. Started out just remembering like a piece of my dream. I'd write it down. And then by doing that, you like remember the next thing, writing it down. And it went to like sentences, to paragraphs, to like whole pages. I was writing down, filling up books, notepads of my dreams. And I had to stop because I would spend like the first half hour awake writing down my dreams. And then another thing, okay, so let's talk about lucid dreaming. There's one, when you set your alarm, you know how the guy was talking about setting your alarm? If you a person that sets your alarm a little early and then hit snooze, like it wakes you up and then you hit snooze and then you doze back off to sleep, and then you wake back up 10 minutes later, to wake up to do your day. I remember my dreams in that short time, like in that little 10 minutes that I woke up, hit snooze. I remember my dreams in that like gap of like waking up and then going back, like taking a nap, 10-minute nap, I guess. And so with that, sorry.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Like you're awake. Yeah, you're awake, and then you know, how does it say? Anyways, yeah, that's one thing with lucid or with trying to remember your dreams in that little 10-minute period. And then with that lucid dreaming, they actually have they've had it a long time, but I think they just put it on the market. It's like a mask, and you wear this mask. You set it to like a certain time, and then it can like I guess sense when you're already in sleep, when you're fully asleep, it'll flash like lights and over your closed eyes. And then so if you're having a dream and you see lights in your dream, it will like cue you and like try to make you wake up in your dream so you can have a lucid dream. And so I learned this by what we call like trigger objects. So like you can take any trigger object, and mine is a clock, like a wall clock. So if I see a clock, I just like program my mind to if I see a clock, I'll ask myself, am I dreaming? And then I realized that if I keep doing that, and then sometimes I'll be dreaming and I'll see a clock and I'll snap out and I'll be able to wake up in my dream and have a lucid dream and like control it. So that's like a trigger thing.
So it's kind of like Inception, like Inception with they had the totems, right? That they would let them know if they were actually in a dream or not.
I've never seen the movie. I've never seen the movie all the way through, but I do know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's another topic too. Psychic dream walking. And that's like weird if we want to talk about that. But actually, hold on. Okay, I'm going to share my sleep paralysis stories.
Sure, go ahead.
This stuff is, I talk about ghosts on the show, but this is kind of hard to talk about because it's very personal and it's very, like, it's terrifying. So it's kind of hard to, like, you know, I trust I could tell you guys, you know, I wouldn't, like, bring this up in a conversation. So, like, other people have told me their sleep paralysis stories before, and I'm like, yeah, I would, okay, cool. But okay, so I had one when I was a kid. I just had the classic, you know, felt like there was something in my room, like something in my room, and then I couldn't move. And of course, you know, I was a little kid. It scared me, and I remember it. But then more recently, within the last couple of years, what I believe this is it's a natural thing, and it's from if you change your sleep pattern or you have maybe like your sleep schedule is messed up. Your brain is something that's your brain and your body are like not connecting right, and that's what's causing this. And so at the time, let's tell the story. At the time, I was taking like 3-hour naps. Like I wasn't getting a full night's sleep. I was getting like a 3-hour nap, and waking up, had to do things, and then I come back, get like another 3-hour nap, and then wake up and go to work for the day. And so I had this one. I was sleeping by myself. I was sleeping on my back. And I felt like there was something in the room, and I couldn't move. And it's weird. I was laying on my back, and I have a glass mirror closet, and so I could see in the reflection, I could see the room, like the TV was on. I could see the room, and there's nothing in the room with me. But I just like felt like, you know, that feeling when someone walked in the room. And then another time, same thing. You know, I took a 3-hour nap, and then I woke up, took a 3-hour nap. And, okay, so this time I was laying on my stomach, and it was really weird. Like, I woke up and I couldn't move. And I realized, you know, I was having whatever was going on. And then I felt like this presence walk into my room. I felt it, like the carpet going down, and it climbed into bed with me. It, like, I could, like, feel the bed moving down. And it, like, climbed over and, like, straddled I was laying on my stomach, and it, like, straddled me, and it's, like, over my hips. And pushed its hands down on my back, and it was like pushing me down into the bed. I could actually feel like the bed going down. And that is like the freakiest thing. Like it's hard to tell the stories because it's so like almost traumatizing. So I freaked out. But like I said always before, I always, you know, don't be afraid of what you don't understand. So I researched it, right? I looked it up and I researched it, and it's actually, you know, I found out it is a thing where if you're not getting enough sleep, or your sleep schedule has changed, and I think maybe diet has a lot to do with it too. What you eat and what you drink before you go to bed can cause it too. So that's just my sleep paralysis stories.
Gotcha. Wow, that last one's terrifying, bro. Do you?
Yeah, actually,
do you have
what
nightmares about
what
it
I
after
thought.
the fact?
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I thought it was my at the time my 12-year-old son. I thought my son was like sneaking in the room and like messing with me, like trying to like I don't know, but he's messing with me, And what I wanted to do was like move real fast, to, like get it off of me. Like I wanted to get it off of me, whatever it was, and I couldn't move and I couldn't scream, and then I ended up just falling back to sleep. And then when I woke up, I remember it very vividly, and it was scary.
That's creepy, man. That's creepy. Like I said, it's never happened to me. I have weird nightmares that I have a hard time remembering them. And like you said, maybe that in between waking period, in between snooze. You know what my problem is with my alarm clock? I just sleep through it. That's what the problem is. Well, I'm just saying, if I could wake up and hit the snooze button, maybe I'd remember my dreams. Maybe I should try that. I think I need a louder alarm. Matt, I appreciate the call.
Oh, that's what I was going to say about that one.
Yeah,
all right, Matt, thank you.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. No, thanks, Mike. Just keep doing what you're doing, and good show tonight.
Thank you. I'm not running you off. Tell us. We got time, man. We got time.
What I was talking about, I remember what I was talking about, that, the clock thing. The dream world, time is different. So, like, a 20-minute long dream can be like, a millisecond on the dream world. It's like an electronic firing in your mind. So, like, time is distorted, I guess, in dreams, if that makes sense.
Yeah, different
so that's
time
I said,
states.
in that 10 minutes of time that you like kind of woke up yourself and then you doze off, and then in that little bit of time, maybe something triggers that you're awake more, and that's how I am able to remember my dreams. In that I only remember that I dreamed in that little 10-minute period. I don't remember my dreams throughout the night. It's weird.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll try it. I need a louder alarm clock. That's what it is. I use my cell phone.
Okay.
It's just
yeah, and then
go ahead.
There's a book, Psychic Dreamwalking by Michelle Ballinger. This is like weird. Okay, I'm gonna go real weird. And that is kind of like Inception. One of the callers was talking about this earlier. And what it is that okay, so like say I'm asleep at my house and you're asleep at your house, and I'm dreaming, and then I lucid dream, and I can like create my dream world. Okay, so say like London, on a foggy night, you see the stone, the fog, and then what I'll do is I could reach into your dream and pull you into my dream, and then we could have a shared dream. That's what that's about. It's really out there.
That's straight up Inception. Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder, right? I wonder if there's professionals out there that are actually doing these things. Can actually catalog.
Yeah, I read a book on
it. Yeah. All right, cool. I'll check it out, man. That's the type of stuff it expands our minds, right? If these things are possible and people are doing them now, then I think that it's definitely worth thinking about and talking about.
Yeah, I just like to share information.
Okay, appreciate that, my friend. That's Matt from California, out of Oregon, and back to Cali. Thanks for the call, bro. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. There you go. If you guys want to be part of the show, we're talking about dream states. We're talking about lucid dreaming. We're talking about that sleep paralysis and the rest of this. What does it mean to you? And OG Todd, are you there, buddy? You've been awful quiet.
Yes, sir.
All right.
No, I was listening, and I have to say, there was a movie made in the 80s about all of this called Dreamscape, about bringing somebody into your dream and then the other person trying to kill the main actor in his dream. But they've been studying that shit in real science for years. Oh, sorry about cursing.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. There's no fringe tonight, so you made it.
Okay.
You lucked out. It was the universe looking after you tonight. I don't have to scold you.
That's right. There we go. This brownie got me going, Mike.
Damn it, Todd. Damn it. Why? Well, for the love of God, why? No. All right. So what's up? We got a birthday. Sunny Zacatecas, Mexico in the chat. What's up? Happy birthday, homie. All right. So we're still taking your phone calls, guys, talking about dreams, dream states, talking about all the rest of this. Anything to add to all that? So do you think... so I know, Todd, you don't really believe in the demonic thing, like religiously, but do you think that there might be these other entities, like I know you believe in the DMT experience and kind of crossing over into, the other dimensional type of realm? So do you think it's possible that whatever those entities might be, even if they're locked in our brains, is maybe what people are seeing when they talk about these type of dream state situations, and maybe confuse them with demons or something or other? Do you think that's a possibility?
I mean, people see what they're going to see, and it's like nobody can tell you that it's not that, because that person's always going to see it as that. So for me, that it's just like, how can I put it? I totally forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead.
Maybe juice? Drinking the maybe juice? Possibly?
No.
No? We're not doing that?
I believe in interdimensional beings, and a lot of the last few stories sounded more like supernatural experiences, or like maybe an alien experience or a creature experience. What happened?
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. You're here. No problem, man.
Okay. Sorry, I heard a click on Discord. I thought it was this. Okay, so yeah. No, I think sometimes it could be what the person's most scared of or what they fear the most. That's what they're going to see. Like, it could be all different things. It could actually have been a being there. You know, who am I to say it wasn't? But, you know.
That's true. Well, so I'm just asking. So me particularly, like, I'm not a religious person. Again, many of you know this, but I do not, like, just because of that doesn't mean that, you know, my worldview kind of discounts all the other things that may or may not be true. You know what I'm saying? It does, like, to me, I think that's I think it's fascinating to think about them. And, you know, in terms of you know, demons or these types of things, the sleep paralysis and the alien abduction phenomena, you know, science will say it's one thing, of course, and they're not going to say, oh, it's demons, bro. They're not going to do that. It's not what they do. But
this is kind of like mixing it all together and like throwing two different things into one and calling it something else. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I understand that, and well, that's part of what we do, just kind of as a basis, because it's impossible to tell what people believe until you ask them. So, kind of throwing the ideas out there to maybe start a conversation. I mean, you know me, I don't know the answers here. I'm just kind of asking these questions to kind of get us going. So
I'm ready to share my story. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah. So we're going to take a quick break actually, and then when we come back, we'll share your next story. Okay, does that work?
Okay. Yeah, that works.
Okay, cool. So we're here with OG Todd again, second dude ever in the chat. Back to the very first Troubled Minds. He's been listening to the show on and off for the better part of 3 years here, and he's hanging out with us tonight, talking about dream states. We're talking about sleep paralysis. We're talking about kind of astrally traveling, even, and those sorts of things. So if you're into that and you have a story for us, we'd love to hear from you. Again, this is Troubled Minds. I'm Mike. This is Todd, and we'll go to Rohan too. I see you there, buddy. We'll go to you after we come back from the break too. Give us a call, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Phone number's up on the stream. You can call us and be part of the show. Tell us what you think about this sleep paralysis, dream states. What the hell's really going on? I'd love to know. Don't go anywhere. More Troubled Minds after the break. All right, welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange. I'm here with OG Todd. We are talking about dream states, sleep paralysis, and all the rest of this stuff. Lots of information, interesting information coming from you guys. It's not a rare thing when we do a show like this that everybody's interested. Everybody likes to talk about dreams and what they might mean, and if it's astral travel or if it's just in your, like, tricks that your mind are playing, all the rest of those things. I don't know. I don't have those answers. As you know, I don't even really dream that much, and when I do, I don't remember it. So I'm fascinated by this because a lot of you say you can control your dreams. Me? Nah. So taking your phone calls tonight if you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can be part of the show and tell us your dream story. You want to Todd, let's go to Rohan first. And then let's get him, then we'll go to your story, and then we'll keep on trucking. Rohan, are you out there? Copy, 1, 2.
Hey man.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Just caught the show a bit late today. Been out and about, even though it's like 4 a.m. for me. Yeah.
Don't make me say it. Don't make me. You weirdo. What's up, you weirdo? What's on your mind, my man?
I've got the night owl friends. That's all.
Okay. Fair enough. We can call you a night owl. So what do you think about this dream state stuff? Go right ahead.
I thought that was cool. I liked the idea of the using the low level alarm specifically because I once heard someone waking up in a house while I was asleep, but my dream was still happening, and I thought, oh, I'm in bed, but I'm just considered the dream still, and I thought, great, I'm going to ask myself my name because I heard that was the thing to do, and I never remember my dreams like you. Like you've mentioned in that. So I tried it and got the name. That's where the name Rohan came from. Because I looked it up. I thought it was just a made up thing in my head. But I looked it up and there's so many associations that's where the name Rohan came from for me, from that lucid dreaming stuff. So I'm going to try that low level alarm thing, try and get it back.
It actually happened, huh? So what happened in that dream? Is there any specifics other than...
Well, it's not the dream so much. It was just the fact that somebody had woke me up and brought me into the two states. So I knew then I was in a dream. Do you know what I mean? But that never normally happens to me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I thought that low-level alarm thing is sort of similar to somebody waking me up. But I've got a creepy one for you.
Sure.
It's kind of dreaming, but it's ridiculous, bro. I don't know what to think, but it's bad. But I'll tell you if you want. Because it was like one of those waking dreams. Did you mention that? Because I missed half the first hour. I mentioned those kind of waking dreams.
Not quite yet. We're really all over the dream world. It's funny, when we started a show about dreams, we're like, okay, here's the idea. We're going to talk about this, this, and this. And then it just goes all over the place. It literally just goes off the rails because everybody wants to talk different things about dreams. And that's perfect. That's exactly what the idea is. So go ahead. Tell us about the different type of dream that we haven't talked about yet tonight.
Well, I have one. I don't know if you call it a dream or a waking terror or what, but I get this. You just take this how you want, man, but I don't know what the hell to do with this. So I always remember when I was a teenager, I was about 13, 14, and I had a fever. And you feel really cold, but you're hot, and you're supposed to keep yourself cool, sort of thing. So I had that, and parents are like, leave the window open and leave your covers off. But of course, being a teenager, you start getting cold. You think, oh, just shut the window, just put the covers on. And then, but I seen, I seen something out the corner of my eye, and I thought, well, there's usually nothing there. But I looked, and there was something there. It was like translucent, can't quite see it, like shape-shifty floating thing. I thought, what the hell? And it started floating around my room for a bit. But whenever I looked at it and stared at it, I felt like I was getting all dreamy and drifty. So I'd look away, and I'd feel like I'd get my faculties back, like it was mesmerising me. But it's a fascinating thing. You never normally see stuff like that. So I'll keep looking at it, and then it turned into like an orb. Then two orbs sort of orbiting each other, and then they no lie, they did the Star Trek thing and beamed themselves down from these orbs from the ground up. They rendered like two people. They had no features, no nothing, and it was like trying to tell me something, but I couldn't understand it. And it was like, but I could get the impression, like you were saying, that they were saying you've got to pay this debt, you've got to do this thing, you've got to pay, And it was like
you owe us, buddy.
And it's like it was like good cop, bad cop. You know what I mean? One was like, okay, just calm down, because I was terrified. I'm that 13-year-old. I thought, screw this, man. I jumped off my bed, and I swear to you, I opened the door in midair and got across, got down. I jumped all 14 flights of stairs down the house. I was out in the garden in about 5 seconds, man. I was like, no, what that is. Do you know what I mean? But it's just, you don't want to wake up to that, you know what I'm saying?
No, hell no. So I'm kind of glad I don't remember. Like I said, the only thing I get is a latent, oh crap, I had a bad dream. And I barely remember like tiny slivers of like I can tell you there was a reptile, like a big snake, and it was watching me through like a gate or a grate very closely to me while I was sleeping. Yeah. So I was sleeping in my dream, and there was a monster watching me extremely close. That's all I remember. But that's terrifying nonetheless. Terrifying nonetheless.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the trick is, if you don't want to remember your dreams, folks, just get up straight away, move around immediately, get back into this world. I think that's how you end up forgetting them. So if you don't want to remember them,
makes sense.
But I did have another. Yeah, I did have another thought though. If that's okay, just a quick one.
Sure.
Here too much.
Yeah, actually, if you want to hang out for the rest of the show, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. You tell me.
Thanks, man.
If you got the time, let's do it. So, can you save that story? Let's go to Todd and tell his story, and then we'll. If you you can hang out.
Yeah, man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
let's go to Todd. Let's go to Todd. Hear your story, and then we'll go back to Rohan. We're kicking it, guys. We're talking about dream states. We're talking about lucid dreaming. We're talking about that weird phenomenon where you wake up and there's a something standing beside your bed, an entity, a presence, and some people call it, science calls it, what is it called? I can't remember. Todd will know. What's up, Todd? We're ready for your story, buddy. We teased your story this whole damn show, man. It's time. It's time.
All right. Well, this happened a few days ago, and that's when I messaged Mike, and I told him I wanted to do this this show tonight about out-of-body experiences and sleep paralysis. Because the other day, I was watching a video about sleep paralysis and how it's connected to out-of-body experiences and lucid dreams. So in the video, she was telling you that if you when you get that sleep paralysis, not to fear it, just to relax and accept it like you're meditating. Like, don't fear it anymore, and just think in your mind that you're in control because you're conscious that it's happening. So you're in that state between the dream world and reality, but you're on that very edge, and that you can if you tell yourself control and you can control your fear, it turns into something else. It turns into an out-of-body experience. They talked about the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Thoth talked about it in the Emerald Tablets about when you're about to astral travel, your body, or you feel like your body's vibrating like so fast, like your pure energy, like that electricity, like your body's buzzing, and you hear a high-pitched noise, and you feel like there's wind like blowing in and out of your ears. It's kind of like when Neo goes into the Matrix and you go into that clear liquid and you see all that shit coming at you, but you're feeling it and hearing it. And then all of a sudden, I saw my laptop in front of me with my eyes closed. So it was my astral body seeing what was on TV because I was watching Ancient Aliens to fall asleep, and it was on. And I thought control in my mind as soon as I started to feel the sleep paralysis. And I heard it in my mind, and that's when it instantly happened like that. And then I looked down, and I looked like I was starting to see my astral hands. Like I could see it through like I could see through them. Like they were translucent, almost like they make ghosts look back in cartoons. It's hard to explain, but I saw that, and then I started to get nervous. So I woke myself up. I thought of all that there's little tricks that you can do when you're in sleep paralysis to wake yourself up, like trying to move your toe or trying to move your mouth or squint your eyes or something, so that your body recognizes that you're waking up and it pulls you out of the sleep paralysis.
Okay. And so did it work though? Does it work?
It started to work, but I got nervous and I broke out of it. So I've been looking forward to doing it again and letting go fully this time. But I haven't had sleep paralysis since.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I get it. I get it spontaneously. So now that I'm more conscious about what's going on, I'm going to turn it into an out-of-body experience again. And this time I'm actually going to go somewhere. I'm going to try and go to the pyramids or something. Because supposedly you just think it and you're there. You just think that's how powerful your mind is in that state, that it can just manifest that immediately because you thought about it. That's what astral travel is.
That's fantastic. I can't do that either. What do you think of that? What do you think of that story there, Rohan? Well, I got you guys on. May as well get the hot takes here. What the hell?
Yeah,
that's a hell of a story, bro.
Do you know what? That kind of segues nicely into sort of what I was going to say as well about that. You know, that sensation people talk about free falling or falling in a dream, or that drop sensation that you get in free fall, and people talk about that. And I wondered if it's some kind of merging of your realities as you're changing from one to the other. You know, if that drop sensation is happening in a dream, but you're partially awake, or forget linear time in dreams, it don't work like that. So we're talking time dilation. So if you get that free fall drop sensation that usually only happens for a second, but you're in between the places, then it might last for like a minute in your perceptual time. So then it feels like someone's pressing down on you. And really, it's just that free fall sensation. Do you know what I'm saying? Or maybe that. And it's the same with like when you enter the DMT realm. What Todd was just explaining there is identical to when you take dimethyltryptamine, either from leaves from a plant or whatever, and it jumps into the receptor sites in your brain. And what happens basically is that your senses start turning inwards instead of facing outwards. Do you know what I mean? And then you're looking at your interior. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but as that's happening, if you've got your eyes open, you're seeing the density change, you're feeling the density change. And so, you know, it'll feel like things are made of plasticine. You know, you're sinking into things. Things all seem bigger, different colours, moving around differently. You know, you close your eyes, you see a whole new different kind of thing. So, And I think a lot of this stuff's sort of related together. Do you know what I mean? Because your brain don't really know the difference between thinking thoughts, these memories, what's happening now. You don't know what's what. It's still the same thing, you know?
Yeah, it's still sort of trying to perceive a reality. And as you kind of step in and out of those states, your brain is like shaking an egg, right? It's like, oh,
yeah, it's like showing you. It's like trying to show you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was thinking, if in your dream, it can make things up to explain stuff. So if you're feeling a kind of sleep paralysis thing, but you're awake, and you're feeling this physical sensation, then your brain can easily create an hallucination to explain, oh, it's somebody crawled on you and then sat on you, perhaps. Or like you say, it could be still, though. It might, some of it mixed in there might be, yeah, it's some entity just jumped in through a portal and did some weird thing for some reason. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree.
And people even talk about that on acid, you know. I've heard people talking about they've gone to some party, come in a bit late, took acid, sat in the corner with a mate, and they saw everything just stop. And then these like gnomes run in and just start like measuring people and stuff and then run away and shut the door. And then everybody carries on dancing. And you're like, what?
I mean, those are the machine elves, right? The DMT machine elves.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, of course.
Dwarves run and start measuring everybody. Like, what the hell is that? Kate in the YouTube chat says, sounds like a trip. What kind of trip? What kind of trip? Comment on that, Todd. How about this? Have either of you guys ever taken DMT? But go ahead, comment on that, Todd, and then that's the question. Go ahead.
I haven't done DMT, but I've tripped on acid a hell of a lot. I lost my license tripping on acid. But I've had some crazy trips. And actually, one trip, I feel like I broke out of this reality. And this was as I was getting arrested. I started peaking on the acid. And I feel like it peeled back the reality of... I mean, it's so hard to explain. These cops handcuffed me, right? And I was tripping on acid, so I started fucking hallucinating, and they turned into aliens, like, right before me. Like, their skin, like got pulled back, like a digital skin got pulled back, you know? I swear to God, dude. And they turned into fucking aliens, bro. And they brought me to the fucking police station, and I was tripping out like crazy. I remember starting to really peak at that time. And then... this was at the police station, and then I ended up in the hospital, right? I was in the hospital bed, and I see four, okay, you know, Stargate, listen to me, dude, stop laughing.
I'm listening. Come on. I can listen and laugh at the same time, bro. Okay. And I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you. Go ahead, sir.
I know. But, yeah, so, damn, I lost it.
No, the police station, the reptilian skin being pulled back.
Okay, from Stargate. You know the aliens, the one named Thor.
With like the cobra heads or whatever they are?
Asgard,
yes, the Asgard. That's exactly what they look like, the aliens that I saw, but they were blue. They had the exact same head shape, and they glowed like a fluorescent blue. Am I talking too loud?
No, you're good, bro. We got a limiter. There's a limiter on it, so you could scream. That's why when Ash does the reptilian scream, it cuts it out because like it's not good. The human technology is not built for that. You're good, bro. Talk as loud as you want. But yeah, no, you're right. So okay, so since then though, is that all just a figment of your imagination, or do you think that?
I think it was real.
You think so? That's what I'm saying. So meaning
because
that,
let me. Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
This has to do with the Akashic Records. I feel like in that moment in time, I saw the Akashic Records. Like there was like a portal, but it wasn't a portal. It was information on like different colored tablets. They look like tablets, but it almost looked digital, like surreal. And like they were all spinning like in a tunnel, but like it spins together, you know, like a psychedelic kind of tunnel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like that.
I'm with you.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like it's almost as if you're inside a geometric shape, but some parts of it kind of move around like it's a machine. And a bit like in this, like sort of like you have these trips and stuff in DMT realm. That always feels like artificial. That's why they call it machine elves, isn't it? It's like that part's moving. Yeah.
But these weren't like crazy things. This was a clear blown fucking blue alien. There was 4 of them, and they talked to me, and I asked them about my life, and they told me about it, but I don't remember. But I remember them telling me. I can see it in my mind. Them telling me like that's why I know I wasn't just tripping on acid. I knew I broke through to a different reality, and I was actually really seeing this. And I've always remembered it vividly to this day.
Oh, I'm so glad to have been privileged to have that you share that story as well, because that's kind of what I thought about those mad little dream thing that I just mentioned there. Do you know what I mean? And it's only because for years of other stuff, do you know what I'm saying? All freaky things and adding stuff up, like say Akashic Records and that. And I think that stuff is another part of the puzzle, isn't it? So it makes it even more complicated. So it's meandered even more, Mike.
I also believe that when we dream, we enter different realities, because I have dreams so real. I feel like I'm there. I'm that person, but I'm not me. Yeah, but I am me in that reality.
Bro, do you know what? I've had that experience, Todd, where I was knocked out one time for a few seconds, but I woke up as somebody else, bro, and I had a proper story. I was like some guy worked in like Boston, and a few hundred years ago, at a paper mill. And then the next day, I woke up as a lady, and the next day, I woke up as somebody else, and it just kept happening like over and over again. And after a while, it's just like a blur.
That's
like I believe dreams take you into different realities. I think your mind is that powerful, and that's why we have conversations like this. Because if people didn't think outside the box like this, what would there be to talk about?
Yeah, well, exactly. And so if you guys are just joining us, what's up? Shout out to Tam and Sherry. Hello, ladies. Thanks for showing up tonight, this morning, as the case may be. And we're talking about dream states. We're talking about, it's odd how when you begin talking about dreams, you kind of get into acid trips and DMT and those types of stories. So at some point, right, you get past a certain hour of the night and people start talking about some trips. And that's where we're at during the night. But we started with the dream states. We started with the what is that called? I keep forgetting the term now. When you have that, here it is. Hold on, sleep paralysis, and then right, of course, and how it has a connection to the alien abduction phenomena. But not only that, with the maybe demons on this or shadow people that wake up on the side of your bedside and they put the pressure on you with like the succubus or the incubus, things like this, right? Oddly enough, there's a lot of these depending on the culture and all the rest of that. Anyway, just catching everybody up. I know we got people kind of coming and going all night, so you gotta recap at some point, or they just show up and they're like, why are these guys talking about acid, bro? Well, that's why, bro. That's why. We started somewhere. About what we want. Well, we started somewhere and we got here, and it's that time of night. So anyway, we are taking your phone calls. We'd love to hear from all you guys and hear stories about dreams and the rest of that. We're here with Rohan as well, gracious enough to spend some time with us late at night over there in the UK. Appreciate it a lot. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Join the Discord. And we're still doing this. We're not on the fringe right now, so we're kind of in the eternal third hour here. So feel free to drop the F-bombs and lose your mind a little bit. It's all good. If you got some tripping stories about acid or about DMT, especially, that would be fantastic. And so I guess maybe the conversation has morphed now. We can include dreams, of course, but let's say we've got to the point of the night where maybe we're talking about dream states and then how they may or may not be similar to like a DMT trip. Like, what is the difference between your mind in both of those states? And is it possible, like Todd was saying, that in his acid trip with the cops there, he says, no, that was real. That really happened. He was able to see into some other reality, right? Correct me if I'm wrong there, Todd, but I think maybe we got to that part of the night. How's everybody feeling?
I'm feeling that.
Nice. All right.
Because that's what it was like. It was like I was entering an opening up and seeing into a new dimension. It felt like the world that I knew was being pulled back. And I saw it visually because I was tripping. I saw the skin pull back off the cops. But they were a different type of alien from when I ended up in a hospital. These were like darkish brown, green color. And the ones that I saw when I was in a hospital they were light. They were blue. They were glowing blue. Like they had an essence to them. The other ones were just like grunts. Like you could just tell there was no real feeling there. They just saw you as something they need to move to this place, you know? Like we're being controlled. But like, I don't want to bring it into that conspiracy like that, because that would just make me look dumb. But
wait. I think we've already we're past that threshold, bro. You may as well just go for gold. Let's go for gold.
I don't know, man. I think there's so much shit you can that your mind doesn't comprehend about reality. Like, reality is so much wider than you can see with your eyes. You have to see it with your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it expands in your mind, and you can see it, but you can't see it.
Yeah,
it's just like.
Go ahead. Sorry,
I was just gonna say it's like this overwhelming feeling, and you just know what it's saying to you.
Mm.
Like, I've been hit with moments like that.
I think I'll trust your intuition with this sometimes as well, because you sound balanced, even though we're having these difficult conversations and that. But I think you got to trust your intuition with this stuff and do a bit of science with it as well. And if you consider it, the pineal gland in the brain, dead center in the brain, we've got a gland that's got crystals in it, rods and cones. Well, that's how the retina picks up light, and because the crystals, then they can obviously do acoustic. So we've got essentially a portal in our head.
There's vibration, yeah.
Yeah, and it's claimed to have a structured water in as well. And that's about that. You can flip it inside out. So you're going from space-time to time-space. And I think that's what's happening. I think you're getting into that water. And isn't it funny how water comes up a bit in terms of portals and strange spots? There's always water. Night Stalker brings that up all the time. The link to water and portals and other dimensions. And guess what? We've got a Stargate in our brains.
Right, but it also goes back to...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it also goes back to sleep paralysis and out-of-body experiences, because that vibration is what you feel and what you hear when you're about to go into your astral body. Like, that's what happened. Your body vibrates. Thoth talks about it in the Emerald Tablets. I don't remember exactly what's said, but he says when you're laying in a coffin alone in the dark and you feel like your body is starting to vibrate really fast at a high frequency, that's when you know you're about to go to that other realm. And Thoth talks about the astral realm and how he goes to the different corners of space and it goes to different planets, and there's creatures building shit with their minds, like just thinking things into existence, and it physically appears in existence. I swear to God, bro, that shit is real.
No, I'm with you, and I love how you're getting excited about this, because I'm getting excited about it too. Now, here's the thing, right? We're on a radio clock right now, so let me just, you guys just hold the thought, don't go anywhere. I'm going to wrap this up and bring it back so we can keep the show kind of in the package it's been. But we're not going to take a break, because you guys are on fire. We got 2 callers on deck. We're just going to keep going. So let me just do the outro, the intro, and then we'll keep on fire on this. I love that you guys are stoked about this and excited about the conversation. That's the whole point. That's the whole damn point. Some nights I find myself here talking and I'm like, damn, nobody cares. Like, shit. But tonight, oh boy, tonight's different. So, all right, here we go. As we talk about this is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. We're here with Todd, OG Todd, second dude ever in the chat, 3+ years ago. He's here with us tonight, sharing his stories about his trips and his dreams and other things. Rohan, kind enough to join us as well. We got Jay on deck. We got 2 callers. We got all kinds of stuff going on. At the end of it, it's not really the end. Wink, wink. We got more. We got a whole hour more coming up. So just let's kill this music and let's get right back to it. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Thanks for listening, guys. Be sure, be strong, be true. From our Troubled Minds to yours, have a great night. All right, there it is.
That easy.
We're not on the damn radio, so there you go. Some bumper music. We're back at it. All right, so we got phone calls. You guys got something to say real quick before we go some phone calls? Well, we got Joe from Florida, and it looks like Diane calling about sleep paralysis as well. So we got a couple. You guys go right ahead.
I'm ready for the stories.
All right, ready for the stories.
Yeah.
Rohan, anything?
Me too.
All right. Okay.
No. I need to get a coffee.
All right. Hit your coffee. We'll go to the stories. Let's go to Joe in Florida. What's up, Joe?
Mike, I'm actually going to go smoke. Sorry.
Okay, that's cool. Joe, you're on Troubled Minds with Mike. I think they stepped away. How are you, my friend?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Drinking some whiskey, having a good time. You guys are blowing my mind with all these great stories.
You know what? It's nice to know that I'm not the only one. A couple of the callers kind of affirmed what I had happened. If I tend to sleep on my back, I tend to dream more. Lately, because I used to take some medication to try and help me sleep, and I've kind of cut that out cold turkey. And it's probably been over a month now, but I just haven't taken it. Last couple of nights, I've had some dreams. Weird one that I had like a couple of nights ago was I was like laying down at work, and I never dream about work. And one of the embalmers, the guys that do the embalming, was basically getting his own, buying his own funeral home. And for some reason, I woke up and I was like in boxer shorts, and there were people around, and somebody grabbed me and asked me about an employee. But they said that the employee's name was Brittany Bear, like a nickname, like a bear. So Brittany Bear. And it stuck in my mind, and I got up and I remembered the dream. And today, which is strange because I'm in a new office, I got transferred. Today I'm at the new office, and I'm at one of the desks, and I look at the phone system, and the phone had like, pre-programmed extensions. And one of the extensions was Brenda Bear. Not Brittany Bear like the dream told me, but Brenda Bear. It was off by one name. And I just kind of got a chill.
Is that premonition? What the hell's going on? Whoa.
Well, it was bizarre. And then, here's another thing when you guys are talking about it. I mean, I could go on, but sometimes, if you're dreaming, there is a fail-safe. Like they were saying, if you kind of know you're in a lucid dream and it's getting bad, you could try to tell yourself to wake up. It's like hitting the eject button. I've done that. It takes a while, but I've done the eject button. I have had sleep paralysis, but nothing that I sensed in the room or anything. I just try to take a deep breath and you push yourself out of it if you can. One of the other calls talked about fighting spiritually. Sometimes if you go to bed with intention, whether it's somebody you don't like or maybe somebody you want to meet, you can dream about that. I've had those things happen. One of the most recent ones, and I Googled it, which was weird. Sometimes I'll have dreams of like aircraft crashing. Those are the scariest ones. When you're in your dream and you see something coming out of the sky. And it's rare that I have them, but a couple of years ago, I woke up, I remember I told my wife, I said, man, I had a weird dream that a helicopter was going down. And lo and behold, like 3 or 4 days later, there was a helicopter in Tampa that hit a wire or something, I don't remember, but part of the blade of the chopper went through a truck and killed the guy. It killed this like 70-year-old guy in front of his son. And that happened a couple of days later. And I'm like, did I dream that? Was it a coincidence? It's like, I think at some level when minds get bored and they might put these things together for stories. The mind might get bored at night, and you have a little bit of imagination and you have these dreams, and maybe they're trying to tell you something. Freud says that. I think a lot of us could agree with that. And then some of the dreams, like some of these folks tonight have said, I think we're seeing something. I think we're tapping into something. Maybe we're feeling something. Maybe we're feeling the trauma, or we're seeing a future that's maybe not really a future. It's already happened because we've talked about the Big Bang. And sometimes I feel like everything has happened already, and we're just kind of living in that shadow. And sometimes we can experience that bleed through of what's already happened.
I'm with you. I had to step away and grab this tennis ball from my dog because she was like shredding the shit out of it. She's eating the fuzz on the tennis ball. No. So I caught what you said. I turned up the speaker and walked away. So I heard all of it. So wait. So with the man passing away and the accident and the whole thing. So what did that end up being real or not? Was that a dream state or what?
It was real.
It was real.
It was real. I just Googled it again. I'm like, did I dream that? Like, literally, if you Google helicopter accident, Tampa, a guy gets impaled, or whatever, I was just, because you guys are talking about it, I'm like, I remember that dream, And I Google it. I'm like, hold on, yeah, I just typed in guy killed by helicopter in Tampa, Florida. And it was in 2019. And I remember a couple of days earlier telling my wife, yeah, I had a dream of a helicopter crash, which was bizarre. You know, I've also had ones where, my dad, when he was alive, we were driving in the car, and it was like Sodom and Gomorrah, and it was a lightning bolt. It was a bad storm, and lightning hit a tower behind us, and it turned into a pillar. And in the dream, I'm like, don't look back. What's in the biblical story? And I looked back, and the tower got hit again, and it started to collapse, and it was like a movie. And we were driving in the car trying to speed away, and this tower's collapsing, So, but in the dreams, because my dad's already been, passed away, he doesn't ever really talk. And that's another thing. So if any of us here dream with spirits of their loved ones, I'm curious if they talk. Because I've heard more than once. I know that sometimes my dad will be in a dream, and he'll be smiling, and I'll literally tell him in the dream, I'm like, what are you doing here? You're dead. And he doesn't talk. He just kind of smiles. Every time I dream of him, I never get speaking. But I know enough in the dream, for him in particular, that I look at him and I'm like, you're dead. But I'm not realizing that I'm maybe in their plane.
Right.
Seeing him in their plane.
So it makes me wonder. Maybe he can't hear you speak as well. Maybe he's trying to speak, but he sees you smile, right? So you're trying to speak and say, "Dude, you're dead," and he's just sees you smile, right? Hey, man, maybe it goes both ways. There's a barrier of communication, right? Maybe that's a thing.
Yeah. And then I'll leave you with this because I could go on and on, but some of the dreams that I had lately, the last 2 days, were right in that cycle. Like my wife gets up around 5:30, so I might hear her get up, and then I'll go back to bed for like that mini nap. And those are the dreams I kind of remember. The amazing thing that I find amazing and ridiculous is that sometimes I'll have them so vivid, and I'm like, I remember them, and I won't write them down because I'm like, oh, I'm sure I'll remember that. But then you're sitting there in the shower and you're like, what the hell did I dream about? Because they seem to slip away so quickly unless you write them down. And that is an excellent idea to write them down. And it is an excellent idea to listen to music. And in fact, if I'm correct, Edgar Casey, I think when Edgar Casey would go into a trance state, sometimes he would hold on to marbles. And if he dropped the marbles, it would wake him up.
Yeah, I haven't actually heard that, but we've done some Edgar Casey before. But yeah, I mean, like I think that's part of the problem here is that like we conflate these things as mere mortals, but I'm not so sure, to be perfectly honest, they may not be the same thing, right? It's our brain perceiving different states of possibly the same thing. Maybe it's different, sure. But I don't know. I think that's where we're at, and that's why this is such a fascinating conversation. We got a call behind you, a couple folks here, plus Jay on the thing, man. We got to go, bro.
No, good.
We got to go, bro.
Have a good night, guys.
Joe from Florida, you're the best, my friend. Thank you for calling. Appreciate you listening. Thanks for your great takes there. Again, I thought that's fascinating that we have a story where he sees his dad. His dad's passed away, and he's trying to communicate with his dad. Hey, man, you're dead. His dad's like smiling and not speaking back. You guys ever heard that before? If you guys are there?
No.
All right. Negative. Rohan?
No, I've not heard that one before, bro.
Okay.
What do you mean? Like you've seen you've seen a loved one, and you're trying to talk to them, but it's like they don't sort of register what you're saying.
Yeah. So he was saying that he saw his dad in a dream. His dad's passed away. He said, "Hey, you're not supposed to be here. You're dead." And his dad is there smiling and not saying anything back. So he was kind of bringing up the fact that if you see deceased loved ones in a dream, do they speak back to you? Because his experience is it's not the case at all. So interesting stuff.
Well, it depends on how your mind perceives it and what internally you really want to happen. Like that could well have been his father because he was in a state where he was able to see him, and maybe his dad wasn't ready to say anything to him. Maybe he didn't have a message because he said everything he wanted to say in life. So you just wanted to smile with happiness.
That could be. That could very well be. Right on. Okay, different takes. I love it. So I think, guys, these shows are such a hit with the dream stuff that maybe we should schedule them and be like, hey, by the way, guys, coming up, dream style, because everybody's into the dreams, man. It always amazes me that all the interaction. Speaking of interaction, we got a phone call that's been waiting for a very long time. Let's go. Let's do this. You're on Trouble Minds with Mike and Rohan and Todd. What's your first name? Where are you calling from?
This is Diane.
Hello, Diane. Welcome to the show.
Hi. There's like a Facebook lag, so I'm looking at the screen and hear you talking, but my voice is like what I'm saying is coming like late.
Yeah. Just turn that stream down. You got us live, so there's a little bit of a delay. I'll wait if you want to do that.
Okay, I'm going to walk away from the screen then. This happened like 21 years ago, and I laid down, I shut the door, and I laid down, and I seen like 3 balls of blue lights in my room. But I know I've seen the blue lights since I was a child, so I'm thinking, oh, well, here they come again. And so the next thing I know, I'm laying on my stomach, and I can't move. And I know there's somebody standing behind me because I seen like a wand or like light coming toward me. And then I get up, I turn around, and I see this black dog staring at me. And I scream, and my dog comes running into the room. And I'm like, oh, my God, what has happened? And I had this message that was given to me. It was about my boyfriend's daughter. So I work nights, so I only got to see him every once in a while. So I called him. And I woke him up and I said, Kevin, I said, I had this terrible nightmare that something's going to happen to your daughter. I don't know what else to tell you. All I know is that something's going to happen to her. I said, where is she now? And he said, well, she's over her mother's house. So, and I said, well, I seen these blue balls of light, and I said, that's why when I'm over your house, I'm afraid to go to sleep all the time. And he says, and he started saying, oh, those bastards, and calling them names. Tell them to leave you alone and stuff like that. And I've never. Well, Kelvin, I'm just telling you. I told you what I was meant to tell you. So, like a month later, I was reading a paper, and it was her obituary. She she skipped school and got in a car accident. Her friend was speeding, stole her parents' car and was speeding down the back roads in the country, and she flew through the windshield, and she ended up in a puddle of muddy water, and she took some of the water in, and she died like it was like instant death. And I called him, I told him, and he was really quiet. He didn't say nothing. I'm like, when's the funeral? He never called me back. And I called him, and I said, Kevin, are you mad at me? And he didn't. He said, don't you want to talk to me anymore? And see, our daughters were the same age. They were both 16 at the time, and they got along really good, and they looked alike too. It's really sad because that ended our relationship, but I guess it wasn't meant to be.
That's horrific.
You know?
So it was about a month apart, though. So it was definitely like a premonition in a dream that you had that something was going to happen. You didn't know what it was, and then something horrific did happen.
I always had alien experiences, and I told my brother about that, and he says, well, the dog is probably just, what do you call it, one of those screen memories, the black dog, and they were just trying to convey a message to you. And then I had sleep paralysis, but that was a lot when I was growing up, but that was like the last major one I had. And I used to have night terrors and stuff, but I'm glad that was the last one I had, because I'll tell you what, after that one, I was having anxiety attacks and depression, and after all that happened, since then I try to reach out to him, and he's not on Facebook, and hopefully, I know we moved out of the house after that. He sold his house and moved away, but I just wanted to tell him I'm sorry about what happened, and No, but
I
guess it scared him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we all know. Everybody here knows that's listening out there knows this wasn't your fault, of course. But I can see how he was shaken by that. You know, like literally, imagine being told a premonition of something like that and kind of blowing it off, and then in the short term, something like that comes to light. I mean, that would scare a lot of people, right? That would scare a lot of people. Holy smokes!
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird because of our last conversation we had, we were talking and something about God, and he says he doesn't believe about God. In God, I said, well, you know, not everybody does, but I think there's a higher power. There's something controlling all this stuff going on. Do you know what I mean? There's something, aliens, demons, Bigfoot going on. I think it's all related to something. And like when I was growing up, I had a lot of nightmares about past lives, and so did my brother. And we were talking, and I said, well, I didn't want to tell anybody that I was a German in my past life. And my brother says, so was I.
Wow. Holy
yeah, because he's quiet, and he always, like, he's the oldest, he always kind of kept to himself, but he'd read and read and read and read and read. And my father used to make fun of him about the aliens, but because he'd be reading books on that. And then as I got older, and I seen because a lot of weird stuff would happen, and I'd have to call back and tell you about my my experience when I was 3 years old. I don't want to take up any more time.
Sure, love to have it. I have a question for you. I have a question for you real quick before you go, though. Does so you had a premonition in a dream that ended up coming true, and as horrific and tragic as it
know.
Did it ever happen before or after? Did it ever happen before or after?
Well, it happened before, but that was the last one that happened. I'm 55 now, but it was like 21 years ago. And,
okay, just curious if it was like a one-time thing, like it was such a...
No, I had it when I was younger. I mean, it used to be terrible. I used to go to my mother, used to shut her door, and I would cry by her door when I was little to let me in because I'm scared, and she wouldn't because she was scared. What was going on in the house.
Okay. So
and my father seen a UFO years ago, and you can't talk about that because my father couldn't, because he was a police officer and he was a sergeant in the Army. You can't be telling people that.
No, they think you're insane.
Your job and
yeah, they think you're nuts. Yeah, and one more question before I let you go, Diane. How'd you find us? You found us on Facebook, am I right?
Oh yeah. It had to do with like looking through the different groups and stuff about alien abductions and stuff, and trying to find out and reach out to people, because I grew up, we didn't have the internet, and we didn't know anything about aliens or anything. I thought, like Casper the Friendly Ghost was the closest thing.
That's
you know.
Yeah, I'm with you. And so the stigma remains, and I'm glad we have an outlet for that. I'm glad you found us. I'm glad you're able to tell your story, and thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for listening. Come back. We need people like you that are part of this community. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m.
I will be calling back. I will be calling back. It's just I have to learn.
Okay.
Not to be scared about it.
Okay, perfect. Again, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, and thank you guys for everything you do out there.
Thank you for sharing.
And I wish you all luck.
And you as well.
Okay, bye-bye.
Good night. Thank you for calling. There you go. Simple as that. First time caller there. We got Diane again telling us a fantastic story here. And wow, did you guys catch that? Tell me you caught that. Anybody out there?
Yeah, I was listening on my phone, so I heard it.
Okay, so what's your take on that? Like an actual premonition in a dream of something horrific as her boyfriend's daughter dying in a car accident. Like the specifics weren't prevalent, but I mean within a month, I think that's.
Oh, that was such a it's just so sweet as well.
Yeah, that's a hard story, right?
Yeah,
man. Like that, some people have that gift that thing that makes them special, where they could do that. This is, some people have it, some don't. It's real. I had the dream when that kid died. Same, not the same situation, but the same idea happened to me.
Yeah.
But I didn't call anybody and tell them. I found out the next day that it was real.
Right, exactly. So, but still, it was corroborated. It happened, and you kind of it was a premonition. Yeah, crazy, scary stuff. Like I said, I've never had anything like this. I do have people in my family that have said, throughout the years that these things happen to them. Like they see my grandmother return and say, hello and things like this, right? And I need to ask more specific questions. I never did back then, right? When people say this stuff, like people just shake their head and these people are nuts. I hear my dog squeaking on the toy over there. But
I asked.
Go ahead.
I asked my mom the other day if she ever had an out-of-body experience, and she said not since I was a kid. I was like, what? Because my mom's like a hardcore fucking God person, right? So, but I asked her, I was like, have you ever had an out-of-body experience? She was like, yeah. And she remembers this. She said she was 4 years old. Like, she can remember that. It's just the power of the mind that some people have. Some people's gifts are different than others, but everybody has one. And I would never expect my mom to have said yes and say this happened to her 4 years ago. And I was like, well, I have conversations with my mom all the time about God not being real and all that, because you know how I think. And but we go back and forth about it, and it's like, but if you had an experience like this, how can you still believe in God? Because if you die, you already know, because you've been there. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to explain.
Yeah, definitely. Paul, call us back, brother. We were about to go to your call and you hung up, man. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, guys. Just shouting it out there because he was literally on deck waiting for like 10 minutes. I was about to go to him after you guys' comments and he hung up. So, it's okay. It happens. Call back, Paul. We'll put you on. But yeah, I mean, like, so have either of you guys ever had, so Todd clearly has. How about you, Rohan? You ever had like some sort of premonition like that in a dream? Me, myself, personally, no.
It's not really, but I've had them in sort of waking times. You know what I mean? Daydreaming and stuff. But when I look back now, I think in my youth I used to daydream a lot, things that then would happen. But I just presumed that it was like predictive programming. Do you know what I mean? Like I'd imagine conversations with people, and then when I saw them, they ended up happening. But then I thought, well, I was probably just pushing it that way because I'd already thought about it, and it's stuff on your mind anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's hard to figure out, especially when you don't know stuff. You sort of your youth, But yeah, that caller, that was such a fascinating story, wasn't it? And that lady sounded really sweet as well.
Yeah, that's a horrible story there too. It's like it's not something you ask for, It's like when something happens like that, you end up like you're as much the victim as anybody else, Like I hate to equate it to like somebody passing away, but what do you do? Like if you don't say something. People consider you nuts and you have to live with the fact that you didn't say something. You do say something and then people may hold you responsible for, witchcraft, you know what I'm saying? Or like blame you for like voodoo and some crazy stuff that, I don't know, man, that's horrific. That's an awful story there. You're screwed if you do, screwed if you don't.
Yeah. Like Final Destination. That's how that starts, isn't it? The very first film, they're about to get on the plane and he has a premonition of it blowing up, doesn't it? So he don't want to get on it and he's freaking. So, people still get on it. You kind of get so, but it's like this. You're going to get survivor's guilt as well, aren't you? On top of the people thinking you've done some voodoo on it.
Exactly. Yeah, done some weirdness, weird stuff. Nutters, man, nutters. Like these are the types of stories you hear, right? And they're real. This stuff happens. And if you don't have anybody to tell, your family and friends think you're insane. So I'm glad. I'm happy we have this. We can get together. Again, you guys can tell me a fake name. I'm not going to out you. I'm not going to, we get phone numbers come through. I've never disclosed anybody's phone number ever. I never will. Like it is what it is. Like give us the fake name, call and tell us your story. I'm glad we've established a community here where we can kind of share these things and not call each other insane right off the bat. Interesting stuff. So we got a couple more phone calls. And any thoughts from you guys before we take the calls?
Yeah, I just want to say about the last caller that oh my God, I had that on the tip of my tongue and now I forgot. My bad.
Yeah, welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. Like I got the review on iTunes. The guy's like, this dude rambles a lot. Yeah, well, no shit. Like you try and keep your thoughts together for 3 hours. Fuck, I fucking ramble. All right. Anyway, sorry. Thoughts from you guys. I'm pouring whiskey. Give me 30 seconds. Somebody say something, please.
Right. Okay. What about? Well, not for me. I don't forget things. Always watching. I am. Always at the keyboard with my fingers. Always got a pen. I write everything down, so be careful.
I make music. I get into moods and I just make music. I just let the ether fill me with ideas, and I just let it flow through my fingers. And some people like it, and some people don't.
That's the way it goes, man. That's the way it goes. I try to make little notes. I write my questions down, for calling or something. I'll write it down just in case I get stuck on the air. And I got my notepad in front of me. Here's my question. I try and do it like that and bring it out a little bit. That helps me, I think.
Then obviously you're more prepared than I am, because I don't write a damn thing down, and it shows. This guy rambles too much. Let's go to Paul in New Hampshire. What's up, Paul? Paul, you're on Troubled Minds with Mike, Rohan, and Todd. How are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm good. I'm happy to see that you found the liquor store I go to and got that cheap bottle of whiskey. I know all about that one right there.
Hell yeah. That's Costco. Right? It's delicious. It's the Kirkland brand.
Yeah.
It's a big old bottle for less than $20.
You gotta love it.
It's actually delicious.
Gotta love it. Yeah.
Go ahead, sir. What's on your mind, my friend?
But,
Nice.
What a couple of great calls you had about this subject you're talking about. And, what Joe said is just, I think, I'm just trying to put this together in a condensed way, because I've experienced all the things you've been talking about when you get into numerology, you get into lucid dreaming, you get into sleep paralysis. You get into this situation, I think, to condense it all, is like I've always felt that we kind of live in this world where at the right point in time when you're laying down, there's some other dimension out there. And when you have these experiences and these lucid dreams, and I've experienced both my parents dying in the last 10 years, and my dreams have totally changed. Always been weird, by the way. I've often dreamt about Armageddon, aliens, ghosts, people that have been in my dreams, and I knew them in my dreams, but never met them in my life. Deja vu, whatever you want to call it. And then recently I've been having dreams about my parents coming to me, and so weird about what Joe was saying, because I never really thought about it. I just have recently been having these dreams nonstop, almost every week when I can sleep, actually. I think that's the key, too. You have to be in the right sleep cycle, and I think a lot of people that are like-minded like us don't ever get the real good sleep cycle going. They're not waking up at 9 in the morning and are 7 and going to work at 9 and doing the 9 to 5 thing and falling asleep at 10 o'clock. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there with insomnia, if that's what you want to call it. But I attribute that to a whole other subject. Yeah. And so even the next one who was talking about premonitions, I had a girlfriend who I dated who kept seeing numbers, and I've been seeing numbers lately, 1111, 222, 333, 444. And you start to think, well, this can't be coincidence. And what I've gone through, it's not. I think you have to be open to it more for it to actually start happening. And maybe it is, something that is just keeping you going. What's the answer? There's no scientific way to look at this. And that's why what you're doing is so important, because now you have people that are actually coming forward and telling these stories without the fear of being called crazy and whatnot. And guess what? You're going to be called crazy. But I think the best thing is to talk about it more. It'll never be a scientific thing. And then you get into the sleep paralysis. And as you know, and I'm sure many of your guests do, I have some experience in missing time. And out of all the years I've been alive, I've only experienced that once. And this is my story, to join your friends that have been telling you a story. And hopefully you'll believe it now that I kind of gave you the down low where I'm at with this. But I had woken up one night in Tilton, New Hampshire. This was about 7 or 8 years ago. And I was laying on my bed backwards because I had the TV at the head of the bed. And I was just watching TV. I fell asleep. I rolled over. And when I woke up, I was living in a place where I hadn't had many experiences for a while, because these things come and go. It doesn't happen every night. It doesn't happen 3 times a week. It would happen here or there. And throughout my lifetime, I've only had several over the 53 years that I've been alive that just stood out and could only be, to me, convincing enough to be proven as paranormal. And that night, I was pinned down in my bed, and my closet was lit up. And I tried to get up, and in my mind, I just fought it. And then eventually I thought, well, I can't get up. And it felt like there was a magnet under my body. And I would start to raise my face off the bed, and I could see the lights in my closet or under the door, wherever it was coming from, because I couldn't move. And I tried this for, 15 minutes. And next thing you know, I finally gave up. And in my mind, I attributed it to a ghost, because I had a couple weird things happen while I was living in this apartment that just should have seemed like poltergeist activity. I had a window closed which was really weird. And then when I woke up, which was hours later, by the way, I finally gave up, fell asleep, woke up, and I jumped up in a fighting stance. I knew it. I was like, and then it snapped into my head. I was like, it was an abduction experience to me. That's what I felt I went through. And I called my mother, and I told her what happened, and she said, they got you. And funny story, my mother didn't believe in this stuff until she went back in her memories. And it tends to run in the family, a DNA chain. So, yeah, there's something going on. There's a soul factory. We're all living in this upside down, where every once in a while you might be able to tap into it, whether it be in a dream or through a friend or a past one, or an extraterrestrial contact or spiritual. I don't know. Like I said, no scientific way to really prove anything. Not that we know of anyways. But, I think we're getting closer to maybe evolutionary-wise the truth. And I think it's still going to take quite a while.
I think so. I think so.
That being said, I think it is. Yeah.
I think it's a whole other conversation.
Yeah,
think about it this way. Like, once they're able to map the consciousness and actually define it scientifically, won't you still be suspicious? I totally will. But that's a whole other show and a whole other conversation.
Yeah, right.
They're like, oh, we figured it all out.
Right.
Oh yeah? Oh, yeah, okay.
Right, exactly. Yeah, hey, put it in the headlines, Mike. Put it in the headlines.
Exactly.
And again, so what a great thing to be able to confirm these things, that there's other people out here that are on the same path. And look, it's going to be a while, guys, but good thing that, there's other people that have gone through these things. And, like you said, there are some nut jobs, but that doesn't mean everybody's a nut job. And even some of those nut jobs might be onto something.
There you go.
Who knows? And who's here to be able to judge us for what we think or feel, and, want to find that truth out. I think this is where you start. And it seems to be going in a good direction right now.
Amen, bro. So you're going to be on the show tomorrow, right? 7 p.m. Pacific? You ready for this?
I am. I'm going fishing. I should be back by 10 o'clock. That's my plan. So
okay. If you're not back by 10 o'clock, your ass is grass.
Yeah.
Your ass is grass if you're not back by 10 o'clock. All right. Joe, you heard it here first.
You got it.
You heard it here first. Paul, New Hampshire UFO Hunter is going to be on the show tomorrow. I appreciate it, bro.
Okay.
Thanks for the call. We'll talk to you tomorrow, okay?
All right, brother. Thank you.
Thanks,
All
man.
right.
Have a great
Thanks.
night. Have a great night. There you go. What do you guys think? Do you think Rohan, Todd, whoever wants to go first, what do you think about science? Having it all figured out. What do you think? If they're like, tomorrow they're like, oh, by the way, we mapped all of the consciousness of all the things. We now know all of the things. You're going to buy that shit?
I'm going to have to change my shorts immediately after I piss myself.
Yeah, right. No, come on. I mean, let's be real, right? Like, I think that's like, think about the surveillance state and all that stuff, right? Like, that's the ultimate. It's like, oh, by the way, we have these satellites that are just real time reading your minds and transmitting it to the to the cloud for us. Oh shit! Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, no, that's not the world I want to live in. So I'm not trying to figure that out anyway. But I don't know if Todd's there. Todd, you pass out? You there, buddy?
I'm here.
Okay.
I really don't have too much to say about that one.
That's perfect. All right. Perfect for me, because guess what? We got a phone call. Anything else, Rohan?
No. You go ahead. Take the call, man.
Let's take the call. All right. You're on Trouble Minds with Mike and Todd and Rohan. What's your first name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Magdalena calling from St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome to the show. What's on your mind tonight, Magdalena?
So I wanted to bring up, are you familiar at all with the double-sided staircase method?
I have never heard of that.
So basically, it is a brain exercise that you practice either before you're going to bed or whenever, where you visualize yourself going up a side of a staircase. You look into the mirror and try to visualize your ideal world or what you want to accomplish. And then you wait until you see a loved one or someone you trust, and you go down the other side of the staircase.
Okay. And so is it is this like a way of manifesting that future, or what is this, something else?
Yeah. So you're manifesting kind of, and how I came to learn about this was, to preface, when I was younger and still today, I would have a lot of dreams where I was crawling through like air ducts or underneath floors. And I was watching a show called DOA on Netflix, and I saw these concepts where they would travel through realities and they would be like above a reality in a duct. And I thought that was very strange. And then towards the end of the season, it talks about how all of these people, they were like hoarding them underground so they could study their dreams. And they were all dreaming the same thing. They would see a double-sided curved staircase, a rose stained glass window, and a tunnel the size of a coffin. So I Googled it because I thought that was very strange that I had experienced something similar. So I did a little Googling, and that's how I found that brain exercise, which is currently trending on TikTok, which I thought was very interesting as well.
Yeah, you know what? There's some interesting stuff on TikTok. I mean, it's the brevity pisses me off. I'll be real, but there's some people that like that. They're really good at that 60-second thing. You know what I'm saying? But the experience you're talking about though. So have you been able to actually do this yourself, or is this like how is this? Explain to me for a little further. Like, so it is a concept. Have you actually put it into practice and maybe manifested things with this staircase thing?
So I have done it, but I haven't, achieved anything from it. My main thing with how I visualized it is I go back to a dream I had as a child where I saw a room very similar, but I didn't actually travel up the staircase in the dream. I ended up looking out the window, which was a very huge window, and nature was like moving outside, so I could kind of see like vines coming towards me. So I was focused on that, but that's what I think about when I think of it. But I thought that, this exercise, maybe it was to train people how to reach this actual destination.
I can buy that.
I don't know, that's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, no, I can buy that. And so, and I think that's probably like part of the, one of the most brutal parts of that human condition is that, like we always sell ourselves short. We're not good enough. We're not smart enough. We're not fast enough. We're not, all these things, right? And like that to me kind of is a path to those things. I think we are. I think we can do those things, whatever those things we want to do. I think that we try and achieve them and reach for them because they're within our grasp. You know what I mean? It's not like everybody's like, oh, I want to build a rocket ship and go to Mars, like that's not what normal people think. They think normal things, they think normal goals. And so to me, like that's a fantastic way of being able to actually line those things up. Our body and our mind are telling us this. They actually have already like described what that ideal future looks like within the bounds of our humanity. So so to me, I've never heard that in particular, the staircase thing and following the loved one down the other side. But basically what you're saying is the loved one is actually leading us the path of where maybe we belong, right? Like maybe that's what this is all about. We have help from the other side saying, yes, this is where you need to be, and trust in yourself, trust in that goal and all those things. Am I right?
I think that's what a lot of people gather from this exercise. To go a little bit further with it, I had noticed the similarities between the dream or the exercise and one of the top tiers in the Masonic religion. I've seen a lot of drawings of the staircase and then the checkered floor. And I think that, and I haven't done any research on the Masonic religion yet, but I am curious about it because of this. But I think that this place that they're illustrating is like the manifestation of creation. So it's like an above world kind of, and you can go there and create your own destiny. And it ties in with the methods that they have on there. I think that they're basically like pushing that exercise out into the world without, giving it its real name.
Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, we got Night Stalker in the chat. I don't know if you know him. He's from the Fringe FM, popular guy. He's got all kinds of fantastic theories here. He typed, before you said that, he actually typed in the chat maybe like 2 minutes ago, before you actually talked about the Masons and that. He said, the staircase is on the Masonic tracing boards. And then interestingly, yeah. you kind of filled in exactly what he was saying there. Interesting. Good stuff.
Whenever I
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Whenever I found this out, whenever I saw these concepts illustrated in the show, like the OA, and then it just clicked into place that I had seen that before and that I dreamt it, and then I was like, well, it has to be real. Like, how many people can experience this before something becomes real?
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's part of where we kind of live in this world. It's like those things exist. I believe they exist. Like how to actually measure them and quantify the entire thing based on everybody's different experiences is a whole nother thing, which is why we get together and talk about this stuff. So I don't know. I don't have those answers. I've never had those answers. I don't expect in my lifetime to claim those answers. But I think that I just wanted to bring it up to see if anyone else had any experiences like this, because I have had them, and they've illustrated it in shows. So I'm sure it's not too far fetched to think that other people have as well. Yeah, something to it for sure. And so I wasn't trying to tell you in that meaning that I don't have the answers to that. Just that's the premise of the show. It's okay to not have answers. It's okay to ask those questions and put the feelers out. That's all I was saying. So anyway, I appreciate the call. I assume you found us on Facebook as well. You found us on Facebook, am I right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, Facebook still works. They've been shadow banning us and stuff, so I'm a little shocked we've got so many new people from Facebook tonight.
Oh, yeah, I get my notifications on Facebook, but I do not get them on YouTube, and I have them set so that I'm supposed to get them on YouTube, but I don't.
Figure that out. I can't figure it out. Magdalena, pleasure speaking with you tonight.
So more problems for you.
Exactly right. Exactly. One more problem. Thank you so much for calling tonight. Yeah. Thank you for listening. Thanks for sharing. I've never heard of this, and this is good stuff for me because I'm trying to learn new stuff every day.
Of course.
Thank you so much. Please call back. We need people like you to kind of spread the word, get the information out there, and like you said, if anybody else has experienced this, maybe this is more common than we think.
Right on. Talk to you soon.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Magdalena. And there you go. Lots of first-time callers tonight. Todd, OG Todd, what's up, buddy? Todd was like, this show is going to be off the chain. You watch. I'm like, nah. And then we have 10 first-time callers tonight. I'm like, okay.
That's right.
Apparently the show
is off the
chain.
My idea.
This is Todd's idea. All right. So I know you guys heard some of what she said. Comment there on that, Todd. Have you ever heard the staircase concept of manifesting and having a loved one maybe guide you to the spot you need to be? And I summarized badly there, but that's what she was talking about.
I've never had an experience like that or heard of it. But I'm not saying that it's not truer, but I've never had anything where I saw Masonic, but I've seen other things. So I was in a dream, and I was like in ancient Greece time or maybe Babylonia. I don't know what age or period it was, but me and these other fucking people were diving into a dock hiding from a griffin. It was a real black griffin. And it was so crazy, dude. And it was real. It was chasing us. So we hid under the dock so it couldn't get us, dude. It was crazy. There's all different types of dreams people have.
And I think it got you anyway, didn't it? I think it got you.
No, it never got us.
I got a feeling it got you, Todd.
But that happened when I was like around the same age as the other shit happened. I would have vivid, crazy dreams like that. I still dream every night, and I remember all my dreams. Last night, I dreamt that I felt like I was in a different reality. Like I say, I feel like when I'm dreaming, sometimes I'm in a different reality. In this reality, I had a pet fucking velociraptor, dude, like a real fucking dinosaur, and it was a pet. And there was like, his friend was outside getting beat up by another dinosaur, and we didn't want to let him out of the house. And then we finally let him out of the house, and he went and killed the other dinosaur. And then some other person that was with me ran outside. I was like, no, don't do that, because it's going to have blood fucking, it's going to be blood drunk, and it's not going to know who you are, because it just ate foods. What?
Okay. You remember your dreams. What was the name of your dinosaur pet? And don't tell me Fluffy.
It didn't have a name.
Okay, it didn't have a name. I was just making sure.
Then he went and chased that dude down, dude.
It better not have been.
It was so vivid, dude. Like I was really there, and I really had this pet fucking dinosaur, dude. That's how real it was.
I believe you. Again, right? Like, and this is again. So what do we believe? Rohan, comments on that? Have you ever heard of that staircase thing going on with any of the rest of that stuff?
I've not heard of it quite like that, like mirrors and things like that. But there's something in there about some of the magical practices, the Key of Solomon, and going down a spiral staircase. I've heard something about that. But that loved ones leading you, that kind of reminds me of like angels and ascended people sort of looking out for you. Because I think that really does happen,
Yeah, almost like the guardian angel, right? That same philosophy. It's that there's even though that we may or may not know what the entities are, they like a guardian angel may actually manifest as your mother or something, right? To give you something you can trust and say, look, this is the way, this is the path. So I mean, to me, I can buy that for sure. But again, I don't know. I'm not a religious guy, but I don't know. I haven't heard that. That's the first time. But Night Stalker, of course, was all over that in the chat, man. He was literally like just typing it out 2 minutes before Magdalena there was saying it. So it's like, wait a minute. So there's something to that, right? There's something to that. There's something out there.
Yeah. And I think when he talks about the Lovecraft stuff, brings up H.P. Lovecraft and the freakish looking sort of angels. Well, I think that ties in with your sort of psychedelic consciousness exploring, because you can only bring back stuff that you can conceptualize, right? That's a collage of things that's already in your head. Do you know what I'm saying? You're trying to describe something else that's completely quote unquote alien, then you can only describe it in terms of things you can relate it to tell other people. You know what I'm saying? You can only say, oh, it's like a cup, or it was like a wall made of whispers, or it was, do you know what I'm saying? So when you see these H.P. Lovecraft angels looking freakish, that's probably because, that's what they kind of really look like a bit. Whereas normally we have to make it different, just think, just imagine they've got good eyesight and can see everywhere rather than having 88 eyes,
Yeah, totally. And like I said, I don't know. I'm not the answers guy. I don't know. Like this stuff fascinates the hell out of me, but when I hear new things like that, and then corroborated, like literally in real time in the chat, there's clearly things we need to learn yet, and I think that's part of doing this, part of everybody getting together. And weird. Like Todd said it. He's all, this show is going to be insane. I'm like, bro, will you chill out? We ain't even started yet. He's like, no, man, look, you hear him. He stepped away for a minute so I can talk a little shit. Sorry, Todd, I'm talking a little shit while you stepped away. I'm guilty. But no, okay. So with all that said, we got we're down to like the last 10 minutes here. What do you think, Rohan? Let's get some final thoughts from you, from Todd, and then we're going to do the outro with Jay. He's in the Discord there. So what do you think regarding all of these things? Like, we've talked about a lot tonight. So I know you kind of checked in the second hour, but it's been sleep paralysis. It's been like dream states. Yeah. It's been astral traveling. It's been even DMT and acid tripping, as you heard part of that. Yeah. Like again, right? And it's all basically centralized in our damn brains. So what the hell is going on with the human brain, bro? Like what the hell is going on with this?
Well, I wonder if it's like there's all these realities together, and then, like I say, we can only see a small part of it in the electromagnetic spectrum. We've only got like the light bit beyond infrared and ultraviolet. We can't see X-rays, can we? But that means that there's loads of stuff going on all the time, And that's one of the interesting things about if you manage to pop through, because that's the only thing I've done for psychedelics, DMT experience. If you manage to pop through, the scene's already happening. Do you know what I'm saying? The scene's already going on. It's not like your brain just generating things. It's already, you're already going into a scene that's taking place, and it even makes people stop and look and kind of go, hey, and you're getting it as an impression. So I think what it is that the veils can thin for us sometimes. And these things, there's a lot of crossover emerging because, you know, we live in a three-dimensional space with like a sort of linear one-dimensional time. But if you flip that over and have three-dimensional space, three-dimensional time, then you go anywhere to anywhere, but everything's happening in the same place. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think that's sort of how it is. It's that we can cross over to other places. We've seen it with remote viewing over and over again. That's been studied for over 50 years, you know.
And I don't know if anybody has a smoking gun to say remote viewing's real, but I think there's some compelling evidence depending on, you know, who you talk to, what studies you look at. Yeah, I mean, so I'm with you on that, meaning that they say that time is not like we perceive it as a construct of the human mind, and that time exists from the end of time to the beginning of time simultaneously. And yet, the famous astronomer in Britain, Patrick Moore, said that he got a chance to speak to Einstein, and he said, "Can you put infinity into words?" And he said, "Well, no, nobody can. We just can't. There's only so much we can do with like the measuring things, can't we?" And I think that's when we get that crossover, and we're going to take the Matrix Jump program and start taking some of these quote unquote woo-woo leaps and have these discussions and see which bits actually pan out. You know, because stuff happens, doesn't it? And if we can't see most of it, then we've got to presume there's a lot of crazy shiznit that we haven't seen because we can't measure it or see it. And that's where science has turned itself into an authority on what reality is. But really, we all know, everybody knows really, you're only as good as the measuring tools that you can create. You're only as good as, can you follow the information, or are you looking to get tenure at a university? Is it ego? You know, you must only follow the information instead of wedging it into prearranged theories that you think it's going to fit into. You know what I'm saying? You got to be honest about it. That's how we get the answers, I think, or at least close to them. Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, I am perfectly okay not ever getting any of those answers, and only in like a kind of like a non-ego way. You know what I'm saying? It's like fine, fine. Like we may come close to a couple, but like all of them is a tall order, man. We're talking about like the beginning of the universe type questions that get answered, man. It's too big. It's just too big. And so I think seeking, right? Like they say, it's kind of an old cliche, but it's like seeking in itself is the answers, right? Like it kind of doesn't matter where you end up, right? Like it's an old cliche.
And my inspiration.
Right? Go ahead.
Yeah, my inspiration is to sort of push it on, you know, add into the work so other people don't have to spend 30 years studying the same thing. Do you know what I'm saying? You just go on the steps of the old giants before you, don't you? And you get higher and higher. And I think it's just natural. That's just what you're supposed to do. You can just chill out. You know, it's like you get sometimes I've seen coming to the West, you'll see these like wise Hindu Vedics and like lamas and stuff, and they'll be doing talks and they'll say, oh, you know, how long was you expecting to be touring America there? And because you've been doing it 7 years, when you're going to go back? And he'll be like, well, I was expected to only be here for 6 months a year because you guys are pretty smart. You know, but it's not a joke. Mean it. Or you'll say, oh, where's God then? And he'll be like, well, have you looked around? And we kind of miss it, don't we, a little bit sometimes? And I think you've just got to, I think we're doing.
We miss a lot.
Yeah.
And that's the conversation, though. It's like we're grasping for the things we miss, and they're fleeting. I mean, I think intentionally.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to know. You know, I think literally it's one of those. You know, like so many rare people in history are like kind of on to some of these things. But I just think, I don't know, like I think whatever that ascension principle is or becomes is, I just don't think humans are ready. You know, like some people say yes, like some are, sure, fine.
Yeah.
But I think as like a whole, you know, we're too busy. No offense, I eat cheeseburgers too, but we're too busy eating cheeseburgers and drinking whiskey to ascend. You know what I'm saying? And here I am eating cheeseburgers and drinking whiskey. So I'm not like making that claim as like, oh, I'm better than everybody. No, look, I'm eating cheeseburgers and I'm drinking whiskey. I'm just saying.
You're making a point, and you're an exemplifier of the point you're making.
Right? Exactly. But you see what I'm saying? And I don't think in and of itself clearly that is like the maybe the end all be all of it, right? That's one of the pieces, because if I believed in all those other things too, I would not be doing this, so I don't know. I just think it's not so easily quantified as to, this guy is on the level or this guy's not, right? I know it's a Masonic term, but anyway, whatever. Here we are. Here we are late at night.
I think it's like it's one of those. I think it's God's carrot on a stick thing. I think that's the way. It's just like that little. Sometimes people need a little nudge and a little push, but you don't interfere. So you got the carrot on a stick, and that, we're kind of like moths going to the flame, aren't we? A little bit. Like, oh yeah, we think we've got something. Oh no, try it. I think it's just that little push, just a little helping hand.
Yeah,
angle a few glitches in the matrix to get you interested.
Right,
in fact,
exactly.
the one idea, I don't know if it was Jacques Vallée who once said that. I don't know if don't quote me on this. It might not be from him, but there was this idea that a lot of this like UFO stuff that seems like plasma things and the shapeshift and that, maybe none of it's mechanical, none of it's like nothing. It's we're manifesting it because we want to project our consciousness to want to evolve it a bit, and perhaps we're hitting like 100th monkey effect, going to have a little booster, and so we're kind of manifesting these things while we're. It's crazy stuff, isn't it?
I think it's weird you say that. So I saw a quote from Jacques Vallée today on Twitter, and he this was the crux of the quote. Again, don't quote me on it, but it was this was the boil down. He said, "I may be the only ufologist who has no idea what UFOs are."
Yeah.
You just said that. Weird, bro.
What a synchronicity.
Weird, bro. Yeah, I just saw that today, and I was like, so you mentioned plasma and stuff like I've talked about that, and I take so much shit for that from the UFO community. They're like, this guy's a moron. This guy's a shill. This guy's.
Oh, hello, Foo Fighters.
I don't know,
Foo Fighters, man. I mean, come on, you can't. You know?
Like there's a lot here. So Night Stalker says nothing burgers and whiskey. You mean as long as we still got the whiskey, give us the nothing burgers. Yes, sir. Yes,
my
sir.
man. I know you want to let me down.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Throw away the booze. Throw away the booze and give me some good grain.
There you go. Exactly that. All right, Rohan. We're gonna move on. We got Todd here, and then we got Jay after that. So if you want to hang out, you're welcome. Let's Todd. Final thoughts tonight, my man. What the hell is going on with this? So we were talking about while you were stepped away for a sec is what's going on with the human brain, with this consciousness bit. Apparently, there's a lot of things with dream states. With we talked about acid trips and DMT tonight. Like it's weird how all of this, and and then when Rohan was finishing up there, we were talking about time as a construct, and that it's as a human construct of our brain, and that maybe it exists in slices from beginning to end in perpetuity. It's there. It's all there already. And we're just living out. We're taking those steps that have already been preordained. Preordained is a big word, and I don't think he really said that. But you see what I'm saying? It's like, anyway, what the hell's going on with the human brain, bro? That's the question.
I think everybody perceives things differently. And I think if everybody could be as open as people were tonight on the phone, everybody would get along and we could stop fighting over dumb shit. And we could fucking move on and evolve as a fucking race and actually do shit and not sit in the fucking sadness and memories of yesterday and just push forward. That's what I think.
All right. Amen to that. It's hard. It's hard to say, to turn down people saying stop fighting with each other, because I think we should. I think that's part of it. What's up, Sherry says, try tacos, Mike. I eat tacos 5 nights a week. I'm not shitting you. Chicken tacos. That's why I'm so svelte. That's why I can drink all the beer I do, and I'm not 350 pounds, because I eat lettuce and chicken. That's pretty much what I eat. But anyway, all right. So just as a laughing at ourselves aside there. But okay, I mean, Todd, thank you for the idea tonight. Like you said, you told me, you warned me. You said this show is going to be insane. I was like, Todd, come on, chill out, brother. This show is insane, Todd. You're right. I have to admit it. You're right, brother.
Hey, you pushed me before the show to take that brownie. It made the experience 10 times better for me too.
There we go. Perfect. Don't say that I peer pressured you, bro.
You did though. You did.
I did not. Come on.
You did. So you're like, go ahead. You should eat it. I was like, all right, Mike, you're tempting me.
Hey guys, make sure that everything you do in your jurisdiction is legal. That's all I want to say about that. All right, let's go to Jay. Let's finish this up with Jay. Jay, Jay's already ready. I think Jay's ready. What's up, Jay? You're on Troubled Minds. Rohan's here. Todd's here. I'm here. And let's do the outro with Jay, my brother.
Mike,
how are you?
Wow, you guys have. Like always, it's a fantastic show after a fantastic show. I think we're heading to people that are paying attention to enlightenment. I mean, we're going to ascend like in the Stargate shows or something like that. We're going to be the ones that be like, holy crap, we can travel anywhere we want to go in space. All we have to do is think about it. You know? I really think that, you know, the dreams started off. I had night terrors when I was a little kid. I was like 4, maybe 5 years old. I was living in Evergreen, Alabama. I was so scared when I woke up from a dream, I couldn't even scream for my parents. My breath was taken away. I was like, wow. And I haven't really slept since.
Really?
You know?
Like it's been one of those things that kind of consumed your life, huh?
Well, yeah. I'll take a couple 2-3 hours here. I mean, let's look at it. I live in upstate New York. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm talking to you, you know? I'll go get a couple hour nap, get up, see what I can see in upstate New York with our clouds, with the ring of fire. You know? Pay attention to the up.
The insomnia. That whole insomnia bit. I see. I understand.
You know? Get through it, you know, whatever. Do what you got to do.
I understand.
But
you got to do what you got to do.
You get in the show. I mean, I really want people to start not looking the stuff up. Just go outside and look up, because it's there all the time. They're everywhere. I mean, we have cloud cover every day. What the hell is that? Satellites don't make 90-degree turns and disappear. You know? Like, go ahead.
The other night, I was looking up at the sky. I was outside smoking a cigarette in my backyard, and I looked up. And I just saw, like, the stars, because it was just starting to get to the brightness where you can see all the stars. And, like, I looked up for, like, a second, and all of a sudden I see this red light pop up. And it zooms like so quick, like in this flash, but I could see the trail of it moving, and it was gone, dude. Like it just jumped to a different dimension. And it just like it was like I looked up at it, it knew I was looking at it, and took off.
Yeah. One day I was actually on the show. I was talking. I was walking out to grab ice for the beer. And I was watching this thing move a hell of a lot faster than a satellite normally moves across the sky. And then just poof, it was gone. Took a 90-degree turn and was poof, gone. Mike and I talked about it actually when it happened, because the college kids next door had their camera out there because there was something fancy going on in the skies. And they missed it by about 3 hours, and I gave them a, you know, little teeny tiny astrology lesson. And it was just like, but they caught a fuzz of it. And I was like, what's that? And I'm like, dude, you have to send that to me. And the little bastard never did. I put up with their parties, with their techno music at 3 o'clock in the morning and everything else like that.
Hey, don't hate on techno music,
man.
Get off my lawn.
All I ask you is send me that goddamn picture, you little bastard. I'm going to come over there and put my boot in your ass.
Yeah, that's funny.
You know?
That's funny. Get off my lawn, kid. Get off my lawn. Nah, that's
they were
right?
Those kids next door last year. The last 2 years on the one side were such assholes, Mike.
Yeah, I understand.
That's not. I got little teeny tiny kids, and I got college kids living on both sides of me. You know,
yeah,
they're out there playing, you know, music and smoking pot, and Jesus Christ, got your kids inside are going to get high.
Yeah, that make me paranoid also.
Hey.
No joke.
No, Cannabis high broadens your mind, dude. The little girl becomes smarter from getting high.
I can't argue with the time. I can't.
Coming soon to a Troubled Minds near you. An argument of which hallucinogen.
I do want to know what DMT is, though, because I'm kind of old and I don't know what DMT is.
Dimethyltryptamine.
It's a chemical in your brain that causes you to dream and to trip. And when you have those experiences, that's
sugar tablet or something like that. You get the guy from the front of the gas station, or
no, it's an actual liquid in your brain that your brain makes.
Yeah, so
it's molecules.
It's a natural gig.
Yeah,
You can find a plant or something. Even you can get some leaves and you could just smoke it, and it's a molecule that your brain recognizes, and it jumps in the receptor sites, and then it kind of makes you fall asleep, but you stay awake. You know,
salvia.
Yeah, salvia. Yeah.
Similar. So they say that DMT is the last chemical that's released in your brain just before you pass away, meaning that it's basically that doorway to whatever the other side is, and so the pain or whatever's happening as in that process of dying. The DMT is the gateway to many things, not just people describe seeing their life flash before their eyes and things like this, and these near-death experiences. And many times that's been attributed scientifically, they say anyway. Again, I don't have the answers, but to DMT being released and kind of or the light, right? As people say they've seen the light on the other side, things like this. So anyway, I think at some point we'll have to do it.
I'll tell you, Mike, when you die, I've had that happen to me a couple of times. Yeah, you see like your little sister in her ballerina outfit and shit like that. You really do.
Yeah, so that's.
I've been through a car windshield. I've been hit by a car. I fell off a cliff.
Glad to have you still here, my friend. Glad to still have you.
I'm surprised that I got the nickname some of my old friends as the Black Cat. I got 2 left.
Got 2 left
by my count.
All right. Well, let's good thoughts for Jay that he doesn't have to use his final 2. That's NS says it's when you meet the.
I'll gamble with number 8, but we'll be conservative with number 9.
Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. All right. So at the end, what's up? You got a quote for us, Jay? Let's finish this up. Let's play some outro music, and you guys can dance and sing. And I don't know, what do you guys want to do? Like, I feel good.
I don't know. I can't believe we've moved on to whiskey. I mean, I think that's a good thing. I mean, I really do. I think we've moved on to whiskey.
No, I'm only doing it because I gained a couple pounds and I'm not happy about it. And it's most likely the beer. So
it's better for your sugar.
Yeah,
and everything else like that. I mean, let's keep all the things in mind here, Mike. Really.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. My wife's probably not happy about it, but she's like, I knew it. It's the next step. Next thing you'll be doing DMT before the shows. All right,
It's
Jay.
already in there. It's already in there.
Exactly. Oh, she's had a great idea as well. That's another great idea. Yeah, do a show on that.
That's a hell of an idea.
Show high.
That's a hell of an idea. Jay, give us a quote. Let's get the hell out of here, man. Thank you to Todd. Thank you to Rohan. Thank you to everybody that called tonight. Thank you so much for being part of this. Like I said, this is nothing. This show is nothing without all of you guys. I mean that. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the thoughtful chat. Thanks for all the thoughtful calls. Thanks, Todd. Thanks, Rohan. Thanks, Jay, for being here tonight. Jay, you got a quote for us, I'm sure.
I just want us to keep on going. I mean, we're getting to where we're going. We're not mean. We're trying to make friends. It looks like we're doing a good job. Join the Discord. I mean, really. That way, if you see something, say something, put it in there. I mean, chat, we have conversations and everything else. Let's get to where we're going,
Good point. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Jay. Rohan.
Hi, Kate.
Rohan, final thought, my friend.
Yeah, man, I'll echo that. Yeah, and so people are finding people as well. I think it seems to me, my observation. So I think it's good, man. Just keep going, be yourself, be a person, have fun.
Amen, brother. Be good to each other. Todd, let's wrap this up.
When I was young in the group home, when I was 16, it was called a teaching family. There was a black family, and I was Spanish, and there was 3 other kids there besides me, and two were black and one was white, and I was Spanish. So the family, the father, his name was Steve. He taught me how to be a man, and he introduced me to his mother, which they called, I forget what they called her, but she told me back then that I was going to be a leader one day. She didn't say what I was going to be a leader of, but she said I was going to be a leader. And I feel like I'm finally, like my ideas are bringing me out there, man. You know,
I got it, bro.
People into the next fucking dimension.
I got it, bro. You're going to be the DMT leader of the human race to the next dimension.
No, I'm going to be the reality breaker. I'm going to be the one that breaks your reality.
I'm just fucking with you. Tonight's show was because of Todd. He reached out to me on Discord and said, "Hey, Mike, let's do a show about this." And look, this is what I'm saying, guys. I mean it. If you want to be part of the show, Paul reached out. He's going to be on the show tomorrow. If you want to be a part of the show, you have an idea, it's open to you. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Mike. I'm here with Todd, Rohan, and Jay. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Thanks for being part of this. Be sure, be strong, be true. Thank you for listening. From our Troubled Minds to yours, have a great night. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Pacific. Probably back on Fringe. I don't know. That's still up in the air. It's okay. We'll be here. YouTube, D Live, Facebook for sure. Have a great night, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll catch you tomorrow night. Thanks, guys, for being here. Todd, Rohan, Jay, everybody else for the calls. It's been amazing.
Yes. Good show.
Peace. Peace.
Good calling.
Thanks. Yeah, definitely good stuff. All right, guys.